Hello and welcome to Shinsheimer Park. I'm Knight Uretsky. Hello, welcome to Shinsheimer Park. I'm Knight Uretsky, joined alongside Ryan Milano. And here we are today as the Conejo Oaks. They're coming off a win yesterday against the Academy Barons. They're facing off against the second place San Luis Obispo Blues. First place San Luis Obispo Blues. The Blues, they come into this game winning yesterday. They're 8-4 overall. The Oaks, they're in fourth place right now. They're 6-6, a game back of second place, which is currently a tie between the Santa Barbara Foresters and the Arroyo Seco Saints. Let's go ahead and dive straight into the starting lineup. So for the Oaks, Grant Smith, the shortstop, he's going to be playing shortstop today, not third base. He's going to be leading it off. We've seen him there in the leadoff spot a couple of times. Brendan Bobo, he's going to be batting second, not playing first base today. He's going to be playing third base. Brendan Durfee, the DH today, he's going to be batting third. TJ Foreman, the speedster, he's in the cleanup spot, batting fourth. Raul Sandoval in center field, he's batting fifth. Austin Carrillo, he's going to be in the sixth spot in left field. Cody Sulak, not catching, he's going to be at second base today for the Oaks. And Robert Capozzi, he's going to be at first base, batting eighth. And Caden Suji, he's going to be behind the dish, batting at ninth today. Defensively for the Blues, you have Burton, Cermak, and Trimble in the outfield going left to right. In the infield, you have Mason Grotto at third base. You have Clarkson at first base, Kretschmar at second base, and Ruben Mercado, the shortstop. Then AJ Esperanza behind the dish for them. Pitching today for the Blues is going to be Kyle Wish, which is a name that Conejo Oaks fans should remember, as Wish pitched the last time for the Blues, the last time these two teams played in San Luis Obispo last Friday. And Ryan, before the first pitch, what are your thoughts on this lineup?
I think the lineup's a little bit unconventional from Coach Solis, but it's one that I think is going to be interesting to see how people are going to do. Sulak on the infield, both Capozzi, Durfee, and Bobo all in the lineup at the same time. It's the first time we've seen that this season, so I think it'll be very interesting to see what comes of this lineup today.
So Kyle Wish, the man out of USC, he's going to be on the mound. The windup and the first pitch to Grant Smith is fouled away. 0-1 to Grant Smith. Smith this season, he's batting .295 in 15 games played. He's had 61 at-bats, 18 hits in those games. Had 6 doubles on the year, had a double and a single yesterday, as well as 2 walks, and was our player of the game. He stands in with an 0-1 count and nobody out to lead off the game. Second pitch from Wish is in the dirt. Count now even 1-1 to Grant Smith. And Smith, he's been impressive this season. He's slowly but surely raised that average. Almost batting .300 now, but he's been the hottest hitter for the Oaks. As the 1-1 pitch is ripped to left field. That's going to be a single for Grant Smith, and he's aboard to lead off the game.
And right there for Grant Smith, just staying down, shooting one, pull power into left field, and being able to drop it in front of the left fielder. He's just continuing to put the ball in play. It's a continuation of what he's been doing so far this season. He was 12 for his last 29. That's a .413 average. Make it 13 for his last 30 with that single.
So now up to the plate is Brendan Bobo, the third baseman today. He stands in with a runner on first as he rips a shot to right field. Going back is the right fielder, Trimble. That's going to get down off the wall. Heading to third, and now stopping at third is Smith. Into second safely is Bobo. And now 2 runners in scoring position with nobody outs for the Oaks.
And we've seen Brendan Bobo attack the first pitch of counts a lot so far this season. Right there, he does the same, and he gets a lot under that ball, and it was driven into the gap in right center field. He swung at the first pitch he saw yesterday. It was an RBI single, so he's had success swinging early in games, swinging early in counts, and right there he shows it with an extra base hit.
So Bobo on second, Grant Smith at third, and coming up to the plate, Brendan Durfee, number 24, and he's going to be DHing today. Durfee, he hasn't been in the lineup for a while, but he's going to be DHing in the 3 spot today. First pitch to him catches at the knees for a strike. 0-1 to Durfee. Durfee this season, he's batting .188. Has 3 hits and 16 plate appearances. His last game that he played, he pinch hit against the Riptide on Wednesday. Pitch misses. Count now even 1-1. His last start he had was against the Ventura County Pirates. That was July 3rd. So last Saturday. Getting the start today on Friday. The 1-1 in the dirt, stopped by Esperanza. Runners don't advance. Smith stays at third, Bobo at second. So now the count 2-1 to Brendan Durfee.
And Durfee this season, he's batting under 200 on the year, but I think it's more of a situational play for him at the designated hitter spot in the 3-hole today. With a right-handed pitcher on the hill, a very lefty-heavy lineup. 4 lefties we see in the starting lineup for Dave Solis.
So Wish pitching out of the windup. The 2-1. Durfee slices it the opposite way to left field. Coming in is Burton. He makes the catch. Tagging from third is Smith. Head first slide at the plate. He's in there safely. And the Oaks, they take the lead 1-0 on a sac fly from Brendan Durfee. It's the 7th RBI of the year for Brendan Durfee.
And Brendan Durfee, a well-executed at-bat right there, did a good job being able to drive one into the outfield with a runner in scoring position. He was able to advance the runner, and that's all that you really need. You want to be able to strike first, especially against Kyle Wish, who went 5 scoreless the last time these two teams played in San Luis Obispo.
Snap to the plate, TJ Foreman, the right fielder. He's batting in the cleanup spot today as he stands in to face off against Wish. Runner on second. As the first pitch to Foreman, he grounds it to the first baseman, Clarkson. He runs over, taps on first base. Advancing to third is Bobo. So a ground out from TJ Foreman advances the runner. And now with 2 outs, Brendan Bobo is 90 feet away from scoring to make it a 2-0 game.
And TJ Foreman, he has been someone who was removed from that leadoff spot, and it's because he's been playing well, but he hasn't been playing fantastic. And Grant Smith has been playing fantastic, and that's why he usurped Foreman for that role. Foreman, he batted in the 2 spot yesterday. He had a leadoff double, but he was not able to get aboard to start the day here.
First pitch now to Raul Sandoval misses, so 1-0 to Sandoval. Sandoval this season comes in batting .121. He had a 2-double game a couple games ago as he swings at the 1-0. Pitch was elevated high. Count even 1-1 to Sandoval. Sandoval hasn't been swinging the ball great all season, but as of recent history, he's been swinging the ball a lot better. Mentioned the 2-double performance that he had against the Barons. Pitch is inside. Count now 2-1, and with that pitch, the fans here in San Luis Obispo, they started booing.
And Raul Sandoval, he's been playing better, but he still hasn't been swinging the bat fantastic. In his last 5 games, he's struck out 8 times.
The 2-1 in there for a strike on the outside corner. Count even 2-2. The wind slightly blowing to left field. You can see the flag in center field. That one's blowing that way as the 2-2 from Wish. That one bounces in the dirt. The count now full, 3-2. Not a cloud in the sky, as it's a beautiful day in San Luis Obispo. It's a 3.5-hour bus ride for the Oaks to get here. The payoff pitch swung on and missed by Sandoval, and that'll do it for the top of the first inning. So 1 run comes in on a sac fly from Brendan Durfee. Brendan Bobo, he's stranded at third. 2 hits in the inning, a single from Grant Smith and a double from Brendan Bobo. We head to the bottom of the first inning. The Oaks, they're leading 1-0. You're listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream presented by KDTV. Now Uretsky with Ryan Milano back here in San Luis Obispo. Chris Torres on the mound for the Oaks as the first pitch to Ryan Cermak misses high, 1-0 to Cermak. Defensively for the Oaks, Bobo at third. Smith, the shortstop, is a foul tip from Cermak. Count even 1-1. Cody Sulak at second base. Robert Capozzi, he's at first. Caden Suji, he's behind the dish. In the outfield, you have Austin Carrillo in left field, Raul Sandoval in center field, and TJ Foreman in right field. As Chris Torres, he's on the mound, pitching against the Blues. The 1-1. That one misses high to Cermak. The count now 2-1 to Ryan Cermak.
And Chris Torres, he's on the hill. He's coming in for one of the few starts that he's had on the season. He started against the Ventura Pirates on July 3rd. He got the win in that game. He got the win with that decision.
The 2-1, this one's fouled off, so the count even 2-2 to Ryan Cermak.
And Torres, he's played well all season long. He did have a poor outing against the Santa Barbara Grizzlies on June 27th, where he gave up 6 earned runs. But outside of that, he's had 3 quality appearances for the Oaks.
Yeah, in that game he started really hot, but just couldn't finish as he ran out of gas. As this one's roped down the left field line. Heading to second now is Cermak. Fielding it in left field is Carrillo as it bounces off the wall and he has trouble. Stopping at second and throwing it in now is Carrillo. Cermak to second on a leadoff double for the Blues.
And right there, that ball, a screamer down the line. Brendan Bobo, not a typical third baseman. I'm not sure if it would have been a play that Grant Smith would have made at the hot corner, but it definitely is one that got past the glove of Brendan Bobo. He was shaded a little bit inside of the bag at third, closer to shortstop. And right there, just right up the line, too hot for Bobo to get down and handle.
So, runner on second as now this one skied into center field. Heading back is Sandoval. Catches it, gets out Esperanza, who was the guy that hit the 2-run home run to take the lead over the Oaks the last time these two teams played last Friday. Advancing to third now is Cermak. And one pitch in and out to Esperanza.
Well, the last time these two teams played here in San Luis Obispo, these teams had another performance, which SLO ended up winning again by 1 run, but it was not because of an A.J. Esperanza homer.
So now runner on third. That is the tying runners. The Oaks, they took the lead 1-0 in the first. First pitch from Torres to Mason Grotto in there for a strike, 0-1. And Mason Grotto, he's a hard batter to get out. He's batting .411 on the year, which is second in the CCL, first in the CCL South. As the 0-1 to Grotto, this one's fouled into the stands. Almost made the catch, was a fan, does not. The count now 0-2 to Grotto as Torres gets ahead. So Cermak on third, 1 out, 0-2 the count to Mason Grotto, the man that goes to Fresno State. The 0-2. Got him looking. 3 straight pitches to Mason Grotto, 3 straight strikes, and now 2 are gone.
And right now we've seen better at-bats from Chris Torres throughout the first 3 batters he's faced. He left one over the middle to Cermak. He was able to drive one for a double. Then A.J. Esperanza, Chris Torres gets an out with a flyout. And then almost a perfect at-bat to Mason Grotto, finishing it off with a perfectly located pitch right on the outside part of the plate. It froze Grotto enough for him not to swing. And now, with 2 outs and a runner on third, that strikeout is big.
Snap to the plate is Vince Martinez. As the first pitch to him misses low and away in the dirt, Suji stops it. It's now 1-0 to Martinez. Martinez this season, he's batting .375. He has 9 hits, 1 double, and 1 is a triple. He has 5 RBIs on the year. He made his debut with the Blues last Friday in that game here in San Luis Obispo. The 1-0 is low. Martinez took it. 2-0 now. Martinez in that game against the Oaks, he went 2 for 4, had a double. That was late in the game. In the game against the Oaks on Sunday, he went 0 for 3. The 2-0, this one's lifted in the air to center field. Sandoval, he's coming in. He makes the catch, and the inning is over. So Cermak, he's left on third after a leadoff double and advanced on the fly ball from Esperanza. We head to the top of the second inning. The Oaks, they're leading 1-0. You're listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream presented by KDTV. Knight Uretsky with Ryan Milano here in San Luis Obispo. Kyle Wish still on the mound for the Blues after he gave up one run. That was a sac fly from Brendan Durfee, scoring Grant Smith after a single from Smith and a double from Bobo to lead it off for the Oaks. To lead off this inning is Austin Carrillo as he rips a ball to right field. That's going to get down, and Austin Carrillo, the first pitch he saw, he gets a single, and the leadoff man's aboard in the top of the second.
And this just has not been characteristic of what we've seen from Kyle Wish all season long. He has been the best pitcher for the entire season for the Blues, whether it be out of the pen or on the mound to start the game. Against the Oaks last time, he allowed just one hit in that performance through 5 innings. This time, he already has given up 3 hits through the first 6 batters.
Also had 6 strikeouts in that first appearance against the Oaks. So now Carrillo on first, Cody Sulak at the plate. First pitch to Sulak misses high and inside, 1-0. Carrillo, he has speed on first. Could potentially see him stealing. Sulak, though, he steps up to the plate. He's batting .250 on the year in 4 games played. The 1-0. Sulak fouls away. The count even 1-1 to Sulak. And Sulak, he's a batter that's kind of hard to strike out. He's had a lot of at-bats that he's been able to extend. He's been able to walk several times this season. This season, he's been able to walk 4 times.
Yeah, it should not be his batting average that is defining him. It should be his on-base percentage and his OPS. He has an on-base percentage of .625 and OPS of 1.1.
Carrillo goes. The pitch was outside. The throw to second. In there, Carrillo is caught stealing. So now 1 is gone and a 2-1 count to Cody Sulak. It's an excellent throw from Esperanza, the catcher, as it was well in time for Carrillo. Carrillo, the feet first slide, not in time. As the 2-1 to Sulak, he sends the opposite way to right field. Coming in is Trimble. He makes the play, and Sulak is retired. So now 2 outs, bases are empty. Coming up to the plate, Robert Capozzi. He's the first baseman today. We've seen him at third base. We've seen him at DH, and today we're seeing him at first base. He's spent some time at first base as well. The big 6'8" man out of New York. He's standing in to face off against Kyle Wish. First pitch from Wish, swung on and missed by Capozzi, 0-1 the count.
Capozzi, he's appeared in just 10 games this season, so someone who we don't normally see in the regular lineup, but he is still someone we've seen quite often throughout the season.
Second pitch to Capozzi, misses in the dirt, 1-1 now the count. Capozzi, his last time he played, it was against the Riptide on July 7th. That was 2 days ago. He went 0 for 2 in that one before getting pulled. The 1-1 misses. Capozzi now ahead 2-1. Overall this season, though, he's batting 172, has an on-base percentage of .342. Does walk a lot. He has 8 walks on the year, but strikes out almost as much as anyone on the Oaks, 17 strikeouts. Swings and misses at the 2-1, and the count's even now 2-2.
Yeah, and those 17 strikeouts have come in those 10 games and just 29 at-bats. So he's definitely someone that if he does not get a hit is probably going to go down via the K.
The 2-2. This one's fouled the opposite direction. Capozzi slapped the bat. The 2-2 will be done again. The 6th pitch of the at-bat coming up to Robert Capozzi. So the Oaks, they took the lead 1-0 in the first. They're leading by that score right now in the top of the second. The 2-2 with 2 outs to Capozzi. This one's fouled off again. Second straight foul from Capozzi. And now, so far in this at-bat, 6 pitches, 7th pitch coming up to Capozzi.
And it's a good job to battle in the count because he does have a lot of strikeouts, but he also has a lot of walks. He is the second leading walker on the Oaks, or tied for second behind Zach Gregory, tied with Hunter Call in terms of the amount of walks that he generates. So if he stays alive in the count long enough, he can fight off a strikeout and get aboard another way.
The 2-2 again. This one misses outside, and the count is full to Robert Capozzi. So we've mentioned the strikeouts, we've mentioned the walks, among the leaders in both for the Oaks. Has a chance for either one here with a full count. The payoff pitch. Capozzi fouls it away again. 3rd foul of this at bat, and so far 8 pitches, the 9th one coming up.
Yeah, and Robert Capozzi is doing an incredibly good job of battling with 2 outs here in the second inning. It's get aboard any way you can, try to get on base and spark something with 2 outs, and working Kyle Wish deeper into the count and deeper into his outing.
The 3-2. Capozzi fouls this one back again. It's now his 4th foul ball, and this is a chess match happening right now with Wish.
Yeah, Robert Capozzi about to see his 10th pitch of the at-bat. We've only seen about 3 plate appearances so far for any Oak this season that have gone double digits in terms of pitches, and Robert Capozzi, he's seeing his first of the season.
The 3-2 again. Capozzi fouls it. So now the 11th pitch of the at-bat coming up to Capozzi, and 5 foul balls in this at-bat.
Yeah, 11 pitches in the at-bat. To put that in perspective, Wish had just 15 pitches in the entirety of the first inning in which he saw 5 batters. So Robert Capozzi, he's battling, and if he fouls another one off, he has the longest at-bat of any Oak on the season.
The 3-2. Got him looking. A 1-2-3 inning for Kyle Wish, and the Oaks, they're sent down in order. They're leading 1-0, though, here in San Luis Obispo. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Conejo Oaks live stream presented by KDTV. Knight Uretsky with Ryan Milano here in San Luis Obispo. TJ Clarkson, Justin Trimble, Austin Kretschmar, they're going to be coming up for the Blues as the Oaks, they're leading 1-0. First pitch from Torres in there for a strike. 0-1 to TJ Clarkson. Torres, a man that originally went to Post University. That's all the way in Connecticut. As the 0-1 to Clarkson hits him on the thigh. Heading to first is Clarkson on hit by pitch.
Yeah, and right there, Torres, he was just trying to come with a slider. let it run a little too far inside to the left-handed batter. And right there, Clarkson just sat in, let it hit him. But I like the change of location from Torres. He busted outside low and away to get the call on the corner, then tried to come back inside to induce a swing and a miss, and he was not able to locate it well. But I do like the change in direction to try to change the different eye location and movement that the batter is looking for.
Torres went back to first. In there safely is Clarkson as he holds the runner there. So nobody out. Clarkson on first. Justin Trimble at the plate. I was talking about Torres. So originally went to Post University out in Connecticut. Didn't like it. Came back, and now he's at Glendale Community College as the first pitch to Trimble misses high. 1-0 to Trimble. So he's now at Glendale Community College, a lot closer to home. Originally from Simi Valley, California. Went to Sierra Canyon High School, as Torres now throws back to first. In there safely is Clarkson. And now back on the mound is Torres, as he's going to throw the 1-0 pitch to Justin Trimble in just a second. Torres also pitched with the Oaks in 2019 as the 1-0. This one's grounded to the right side. Sulak, the second baseman, fields it, throws it to the shortstop Smith over to first, not in time for Trimble, but Clarkson's out at second. And now a fielder's choice, and one is gone in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, and right here for Chris Torres, we saw him in the first inning have the leadoff runner get on. He got out of that battle. Now we see him again with the leadoff runner on. He's already 1 out away from getting out of that battle, inducing a ground out to Justin Trimble, who's been one of the hottest swingers for the Blues as of late. So for Chris Torres on the hill right now, a good job of after letting leadoff runners on, getting out of jams.
So throw back to first, Trimble in there safely. As now Austin Kretschmar, the second baseman, he's up at the plate. First time seeing Torres. First pitch to him, misses high, 1-0. So Kretschmar this season with the Blues, he's batting .231. As he stands in with a runner on first and 1 out. The pitch in there for a strike count, even 1-1 to Kretschmar. And Kretschmar, he's listed as a shortstop on their lineup, playing second base today. Goes to Stanford University. He's played in 4 games prior to this one. So batting .231 in those 4 games. Throw over to first. In there safely is Trimble.
We've seen Torres pay a lot of attention to that runner at first.
Torres making sure that Trimble not trying to steal, getting his head, thinking about heading back to first instead of heading to second. Runner does not go. The 1-1 misses. It's now 2-1 to Kretschmar. Kretschmar yesterday, he went 1 for 2, had a run, an RBI, and a walk. Was also hit by a pitch in that game, so it raised his on-base percentage from .250 to .375. Torres fires back to first, gets out of the glove of Capozzi. Capozzi goes and retreats. Trimble in there safely. 2-1 the count still to Kretschmar.
And that's the risk you pay if you're Chris Torres, to pay that much attention to the runner at first. We've seen a lot more this season a ball get passed on a pickoff attempt than the runner at first actually get picked off.
Kretschmar, he's at the plate. The 2-1. This one's lifted in the air to center field. Heading over is Sandoval in left center. He makes the play. Retreating back to first is Trimble. And now 2 are gone with a runner on first.
And so Torres doing another great job of being able to, after letting the leadoff runner on, get 2 quick outs. And now there's just a runner on first with 2 outs in the inning. It's still a little bit scary, a little bit of danger for the Oaks. But Chris Torres has done a great job after letting leadoff men on, get back into the count and get back into the inning by getting consecutive outs.
So we just saw a Stanford man in Austin Kretschmar. Now we see a Stanford man in Grant Burton at the plate. Pitch is in there for a strike, 0-1 to Burton. Burton this season, he's played in 6 games. His first one dating back to June 29th against the Riptide. He's batting .118 on the year. So hasn't been swinging the bat very effective. The 0-1, curveball inside. Count even now 1-1.
And today we've seen a little bit to start the home plate umpire. He has a little bit of a shifted zone. Balls on the black on the inside part of the plate to a right-handed hitter will not be called, but balls on the outside to a right-handed hitter have been called more. We saw it to the left-hander Capozzi as well, a ball that was much inside, or at least that painted the black on the inside part of the plate, called a strike to ring him up.
Torres threw over to first, squirted out of the glove of Capozzi again. The runner did not head to second, so Trimble still on first. Burton, he's at the plate. Burton played in the game against the Oaks the second time they played. That was on Sunday on July 4th. He went 0 for 3 with a strikeout. The 1-1 to him, he fouls it away down the right field line, out of the playing field and into the stadium. Count now 1-2. Burton, he's originally from Dana Point, California. He's going to be a senior in the fall at Stanford. Bats right-handed, but throws left-handed. It's a very unique combination. See a lot of right-handers bat lefty, but not a lot of lefties bat righty. As this one's lifted high in the air in the infield, Grant Smith comes over, makes the catch, and the inning is over. So no runs come in on no hits, no errors, one runner left on first base. We head to the top of the third inning. The Oaks, they're leading 1-0. You're listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream presented by KDTV. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you here at Shinsheimer Park. The first pitch to Caden Suji misses, it bounces in the dirt, 1-0 to Suji. The Oaks, they're leading 1-0 after that sac fly from Brendan Durfee in the first inning. That came after a single and a double from Brendan Bowe and a single from Smith. As Suji sends one to right field, he's on with a leadoff single. So in each inning so far, the Oaks, they've had their leadoff man aboard, all with singles.
And not only just the Oaks, but we've seen for the Blues, them have their leadoff runner on in each inning we've seen so far. So both pitchers today struggling with letting the leadoff hitter on.
So now coming up to the plate, Grant Smith. He's the leadoff hitter after the 9-hole hitter, Caden Suji. He reached on the single to right field. He went opposite field as now Smith stands in. His first time up, we mentioned it, singled. He came around to score. The only run of the game came in on the sac fly from Durfee, as first pitch to him is in there for a strike, 0-1 to Smith.
And I do want to point out on that leadoff single from Caden Suji, it was a flare out to right field. If the first baseman would have been covering the bag, there was a potential that Caden Suji could have been thrown out from right. It was very shallow. The right fielder was looking for it, but it just didn't come to fruition.
The 0-1. Smith takes another pitch. This one in there for a strike. 0-2 the count to Grant Smith. Suji this season has 1 stolen base, so not a huge threat on the base paths. But he leads off with Smith at the plate. The 0-2, Smith skies this one in the air. Shallow left field, heading back is Grotto and Mercado. Mercado calls off Grotto, and the play is made, and Smith is retired.
And right there, Smith, he was just trying to protect down 0-2 in the count. I'm sure that wasn't the pitch that he wanted to hit. I think that he was just trying to stay alive and fight one off, because that pitch elevated a little bit off the plate, and he tried to turn on it. And then it's a recipe for disaster every single time. You're going to pop that up every single time you try to pull a pitch that's up and away.
It's now coming up to the plate, Brendan Bobo. Runner on first, 1 out. Kyle Wish on the mound. The first pitch to Bobo, he fouls it away behind the plate. 0-1, and Bobo, he swung at the first pitch he saw in the first. He sent that to right center field. That was a double. Swings at the first pitch to him here. It's now 0-1. Wish, he's set. The 0-1, Bobo sends this right to the shortstop, Mercado. He throws over to first. In there safely is Suji. So now 2 are gone here in the top of the 3rd.
Yeah, Mercado getting a lot of work right there. Brendan Bobo, that was headed to the gap. That was headed for extra bases. But Mercado right there able to leap, get on it, and make sure that was not going to travel all the way to the wall. The grass in the outfield here at Sinsheimer Park is a little bit thick, so I'm not sure if it would have gotten past the outfielders, but it was definitely in the direction of the left center gap.
It's now coming up to the plate, Brendan Durfee. He's the only player with an RBI today after the sac fly in the first. Bobo this season, after that at bat, he entered the game batting 190 in conference play, as the first pitch to Durfee is 1-0. So Bobo started the season hot, has definitely cooled off during conference play. The 1-0 awaiting. The pitch in there for a strike, count even 1-1, and the Oaks, they're playing here against the Blues. They had a 4-0 lead last Friday, entering the 7th inning. The Blues, they came back. They scored 2 runs in the 7th inning, and then they scored 3 runs in the 8th inning. They beat the Oaks 5-4. It was a tough loss for the Oaks as Durfee swings and misses. Count now 1-2 to Durfee. Then on Sunday, the Oaks, they were leading 3-1 against the Blues. The Blues, they came back and they ended up winning the game 6-5. So both these teams, they've been competitive against each other, 1-run games in both of the 2 times we've seen them. And now here playing in San Luis Obispo for the 2nd time. These 2 teams will play again tomorrow back in Thousand Oaks as the Conejo Oaks, they'll host the Blues. Pitch to Durfee in the dirt, heading over to second now is Suji. And now a runner in scoring position for the Oaks with 2 away.
And that's big because that means a ball in the outfield is probably going to score Caden Suji, especially with 2 outs. You expect for him to be running on a ball in the outfield, running all the way to the plate, or at least trying to score from there. Suji not known for his speed on the base paths, but that extra bag is mightily important, especially for someone with Durfee who has some pull power, and there's a big gap in right center field right now.
The center fielder shaded to the left side as the pitch to Durfee fouled off. This is the 5th pitch. The 6th pitch of the at-bat coming up to Durfee. You can see the center fielder. He's shaded to the left side of the second base side, and I think a lot to do with that is the wind. The wind right now blowing straight to left field. The flag is blowing consistently to the left, so high wind, high breeze blowing in that direction. So with the pull, the center fielder, Cermak, he believes that the wind will carry it. 2nd foul in a row for Durfee. And the count now 2-2, still the 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up.
Yeah, and so we've seen 2 very deep counts, and really 3 deep counts. The deepest counts we've seen all day have come on the last batter of each inning. A full count strikeout to Sandoval in the first, an 11-pitch strikeout to Capozzi in the second, and now we see 6 or 7 pitches here to Durfee.
The 2-2, this one's lifted to right field. tapping on third and being sent home is Suji. The throw from Trimble going to be cut off by the catcher well before the plate. So an RBI single for Brendan Durfee, and the Oaks, they take the lead and extend it to 2-0.
Yeah, and the insertion into the lineup of Brendan Durfee has worked. It's worked for Coach Dave Solis. He's been able to come up big with 2 big at-bats and 2 big RBIs so far. And that big gap in right center field was really the difference. Suji, he did not have a great jump and really didn't show much leg speed coming around the bases. But that ball was put right in between the right and center fielder. It took a long time for Trimble to come over and retrieve it. And it allowed for Suji to come all the way around the bases. And even then, a good throw probably would have beat him to the bag. But Brendan Durfee, a great job of driving it into the open right center gap.
Snap to the plate, TJ Foreman, as he swings at the first pitch, slices it the opposite way. Misreading it now is Trimble, and heading to third, and now being sent home is Durfee. Tapping on second and heading to third is Foreman. The throw cut off. Durfee head first slide at the plate. The Oaks, they extend the lead. It's 3-0.
And TJ Foreman, a great job right there in order to put the ball in play. And we've seen it a few times for the Oaks this season, them try to lay out for balls that were not able for them to be able to retrieve and allowed for extra bases. And TJ Foreman now, he comes up with just his second extra base hit of the season. It's in a big spot because Brendan Durfee was able to go all the way around from first to home. And Durfee, he's a big guy, he's a power bat, but he got on his horse and he got all the way around those bases.
So first pitch swinging for Foreman the first time, second time, first pitch swinging again. This one, a RBI triple. So 3-0 the score. First pitch to Sandoval in there for a strike, 0-1. So far in this inning, the Oaks, they've scored 2 runs after an RBI single from Brendan Durfee and an RBI triple from Foreman. Suji came in after he hit a single, swing and a miss from Sandoval, and he's now behind 0-2. Sandoval, his first time up, he ended the first inning on a 6-pitch at bat, which ended in a strikeout.
And this just has not been the outing that Kyle Wish has wanted.
This one's fouled away by Sandoval. Fourth pitch coming up.
Wish on the season, he's given up just 7 hits in total in his 6 appearances headed into today. So far today, he's already given up 6 hits in just 2 2/3 innings.
So runner on third, 0-2 the count, 2 outs to Raul Sandoval. Pitch is in the dirt. Great stop by Esperanza. The count now 1-2.
That was a fantastic stop by Esperanza. That was going to the backstop, and TJ Foreman, no one stopping him down the base paths. He was ready. He's read that ball well, and Esperanza really saved it, especially with a deep foul territory behind the plate.
The 1-2 to Sandoval almost clipped him inside. Count even 2-2. So after Suji reached on a single, it was back-to-back outs from Grant Smith and Brendan Bobo. But 2 straight hits from the Oaks have kept this inning alive, and 2 runs have come in as Sandoval fouls off another pitch. Count still 2-2. 7th pitch of the bat coming up.
So Sandoval, he had a 6-pitch at bat in the first inning on a full count. Now we see him deep in a count as well. How many pitches do you have it?
In this inning?
Or in this at bat for Raul Sandoval?
This is the 7th pitch coming up. Sandoval fouls off another one, so now the 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up to Raul Sandoval.
And so this is the 3rd or 4th time we've really seen Kyle Wish get deep into counts. The full count to Sandoval his first time up, then the 11th pitch at-bat to Capozzi, the 7th pitch at-bat on the RBI single from Brendan Durfee just 2 batters earlier. Now Raul Sandoval, he sees another deep count.
The 2-2, swing and a miss from Sandoval, his 2nd strikeout of the day. The 3rd strikeout for Wish, and the inning is over, but not before the Oaks could score 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors in the inning, and 1 runner left on third. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. The Oaks, they're leading 3-0. You are listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream presented by KDTV. Knight Uretsky with Ryan Milano. The first pitch misses from Chris Torres. Ruben Mercado, he's up at the plate. 1-0 now to Mercado. The 1-0 pitch from Torres. This one skied in the air foul, heading towards the booth and lands just in front of us. A kid makes the catch off the bounce. Count even 1-1. Ruben Mercado, he's up for the first time today. He's the 9-hole hitter for the Blues as his team trails 3-0 to your Conejo Oaks. The 1-1. Mercado fouls this to the right side, heading over as Capozzi. It goes out of the stadium and into the bullpen of the Blues. Count now 1-2 to Mercado.
And one of the pitchers in the bullpen for the Blues made a nice play on that ball. He caught it. Something that the pitch prior couldn't do.
Mercado this season batting .240 as the 1-2 to him. Ball is outside in the dirt. Stop from Suji went free. Count even now 2-2. And the Oaks, they scored 2 runs in the top of the third inning. That was after Caden Suji led off with a single, advanced to second on a pass ball. Brendan Durfee then hit a RBI single. Then the next batter, TJ Foreman, he had an RBI triple. He was left stranded on third, but the 2 runs came in as the 2-2 misses high. Count now full, 3-2 to Ruben Mercado.
So right here, Chris Torres, he went ahead in the count 1-2. He's thrown 2 straight balls. He cannot lose a leadoff batter again for the 3rd time in a row.
The payoff pitch, that one bounces, and he does lose the leadoff hitter for the 3rd time in a row. A double to start for Cermak, then a hit by pitch to Clarkson, and now a 6th pitch at bat to Mercado ends in a walk. Runner on first and nobody out.
And so it's not dire for Chris Torres, especially not in this inning yet, because like we mentioned, he did have those leadoff hitters get on base in the prior 2 innings, and both times he's been able to maneuver around it. But now the top of the order coming up, he has a tall task in front of him.
So Mercado on first. The first pitch to Cermak bounces. 1-0, and just mentioned it, Cermak led off the bottom of the 1st inning. He had a double. He later advanced to third after A.J. Esperanza, who's on deck. He had a fly ball to center field. He advanced to third but was left stranded after Mason Grotto struck out looking, and Vince Martinez flew out to the center fielder, Raul Sandoval. The 1-0. This one's roped to left field. Heading over to second now is Mercado, and a single for Cermak. And now 2 runners on with nobody out.
And so here's where Chris Torres really has to be careful, because he just gave up a single to Cermak after Ruben Mercado already reached base. And who he's facing off against is really the meat of this Blues lineup. A.J. Esperanza, Mason Grotto, Vince Martinez, those are the 3 best hitters that the Blues have in their lineup as a whole. And they are going to be in the way of Chris Torres getting out of the inning.
So A.J. Esperanza at the plate. First pitch to him misses high and outside. 1-0 to Esperanza. Esperanza, he swung at the first pitch he saw on that fly out that advanced Cermak, but now in a bigger spot here. He's the tying run at the plate as his team trails 3-0. He's hit a huge home run against the Oaks before. That was last Friday. As Torres, the 1-0. This one's sent to the right center field gap. It's going to get down. Heading around third now is Mercado. Now heading around third is Cermak. A 2 RBI double for A.J. Esperanza, and it's a 3-2 game.
And so right now for Chris Torres, it is gut check time. He's allowed 3 base runners on consecutively. The last 2 have been very hard hit balls. That was a liner and a shot into right center field. It landed in shallow right and rolled all the way to the wall in this thick grass that is here at Sinsheimer Park. Chris Torres now with a runner in scoring position, that being the tying run, has to be able to come back and get outs and show what he showed in the first 2 innings of being able to get out of jams.
Still nobody out. Tying runner on second base. Mason Grotto at the plate. That's the toughest out to get in this Blues lineup. As the first pitch to Grotto, this one's grounded to the shortstop, Grant Smith. The throw on the run across the diamond. A long stretch by Capozzi, not going to be in time. Grotto beats it out, an infield single.
And that right there is because it is Brendan Bobo playing third base instead of where Grant Smith usually is. If that play is normal and Naviak is at shortstop and Grant Smith is at third, Smith will generally cut that ball off and throw over to first. He'll have a lot more time to do it, charging closer to the bag. But Bobo let that ball go. It got deep into the infield. Smith had to backhand it and throw off his back foot. It just equates for a lot longer time, and that half step that the ball was beaten out by Mason Grotto is the difference.
So now Vince Martinez, he steps up to the plate. 2 runners on, nobody out still. The first 4 batters have reached base. 1 a walk, a single, a double, and an infield single now, as Martinez stands in. The first pitch to him, swing and a miss. Torres got him to chase on a pitch outside, 0-1. Martinez, his first time up, he saw 3 pitches. 2 of them were balls before skying out the final pitch to center field. That was Raul Sandoval who caught it. That ended the bottom of the first inning. Now a bigger at bat here for Martinez. The 0-1 curveball got him to swing again. The pitch in there. The count now 0-2.
And so Vince Martinez, he was in a similar scenario yesterday for the Blues with 2 runners on and a 1-run and 2 runs trailing in that time for the Blues, where he hit a single into the outfield. Scoring was Cermak, and then Mason Grotto was thrown out at the plate.
The 0-2. Swing and a miss on a pitch outside and in the dirt. Martinez goes down swinging on 3 straight pitches, and now 1 is gone with 2 runners on.
And to finish that point from yesterday, it was a close play at the plate where Mason Grotto was thrown out, and we saw that the head coach Bob Miller for the San Luis Obispo Blues, he was then eventually ejected from the game for arguing the call at the plate, where, at least from the Blues side where I heard the information from, they thought that Grotto was safe.
So now up to the plate, TJ Clarkson. The first pitch to him, he sends it up the middle. Grant Smith fields it, flips it to Sulak, the second baseman. The throw over to first, not in time. Grotto's out at second. Advancing to third is Esperanza. And a fielder's choice play for TJ Clarkson. And now runners at the corners with 2 outs.
Yeah, and right there, it's just a tiny bit of inexperience from Sulak at second base as well, because we see some new defensive lineups from Coach Solis. And right there, Sulak is a little bit late to get to the bag. If it is Reagan Burford or Zach Gregory or even Grant Smith at second base, I think they get to the bag quicker. But you saw Smith when he fielded the ball behind second base as the shortstop, he had to wait a half second to flip to Sulak, and that was the half-second difference that it made for the safe at first base by TJ Clarkson.
So now up to the plate, Justin Trimble, the tying run at third. The pitch, Trimble fouls it away. 0-1 to Trimble. As Trimble, his first time up, he had a fielder's choice play. Clarkson was out at second. He was left stranded at first after back-to-back flyouts after him. That was by Kretschmar and Burton. But now stands in, runners on the corners. Esperanza on third. Clarkson, he's on first. Throw over to first from Torres. Great pick by Capozzi. In there safely, though, is Clarkson. Still awaiting the 0-1 is Trimble.
And I wouldn't mess with the runner at first base if I'm Chris Torres here.
Torres trying to keep the go-ahead run at first and not let him advance to second, as the pitch is a curveball in there for a strike. 0-2 to Trimble. So Torres, he got ahead 0-2 to Vince Martinez, then struck him out on the third pitch he saw. Now ahead 0-2 to Justin Trimble. The Oaks, they're leading 3-2. The 0-2 pitch with 2 outs. Ball in the dirt. Torres tried to get him to chase, does not. The count now 1-2.
That was a beautiful changeup from Chris Torres. Started at the bottom of the zone, dropped below it, trying to induce a swing and a miss on an 0-2 count. Beautiful pitch. He didn't get the result that he wanted, but right there, well-executed pitch.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch, this one's fouled away. The 4th pitch of the at-bat was that one. So the 5th pitch coming up to Justin Trimble.
So right now, TJ Clarkson, he's the first baseman. He is on first base, so not necessarily a speed threat that you have trying to go from first to home.
The 1-2. Pitch misses outside. The count even now 2-2 to Trimble after Torres got ahead 0-2.
And after that pitch, it was off the plate, but Suchi, he looked at his pitcher and gave him a motion, essentially signing that that was a good pitch and well executed. It was just off the plate, but the location is where Suchi wanted it.
Trimble hit the walk-off yesterday for the Blues as he swings at a ball in the dirt. A strikeout for Torres. That's his third strikeout of the game. And that'll do it for the bottom of the third inning. So 2 runs come in on 3 hits, 2 runners left on base, and no errors. We head to the top of the 4th inning. The Oaks, they're leading 3-2. You're listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream presented by KDTV.
Ryan Milano, Knight Uretsky here for the top of the 4th inning. Leading off for the Oaks, Austin Carrillo. First pitch swinging, lines out to right field, so 1 is quickly retired here at the top of the 4th. So we still see Kyle Wish on the hill.
And Carrillo, he swung at the first pitch he saw the first time. That was to right field, got down for a single that time. The right fielder Trimble, he was playing a little bit more in, able to catch the line drive.
That will bring up Cody Sulak. First pitch to him in the dirt for a ball. The count 1-0 to Sulak. Cody Sulak, his last time up, he saw 4 pitches and flew out to right field. The 1-0, he looks at, catches the knees on the low and outside part of the plate. It's a strike call that has been called all day by the home plate umpire, so not a surprise there that a pitch that is usually a little bit off the plate was called a strike. The 1-1, check swing, did he go? The home plate umpire calls it. So now the count 1-2 to Sulak, and Sulak, he has been effective all season long about getting on base, but in his last few outings, he has done a little bit of a worse job in getting on base. He appeared against the Riptide in a pinch hit performance. He struck out, was out in the first at-bat of this game, and now strikes out looking on 4 pitches to make it 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. So quickly 2 down for Kyle Wish, and it will bring up Robert Capozzi.
Yeah, and 3 straight strikes from Wish in that bat. So 4 pitches to Sulak, 1 pitch to Carrillo, and already 5 pitches and 2 outs. It's a great start in this inning for Wish, especially after he's only given up 3 runs. But his offense came back in the bottom of the 3rd, gave him 2 runs. So now hoping to take up his end of the bargain.
Robert Capozzi watches the first pitch outside, the count 1-0. Capozzi, he had one of the better at-bats for him on the season, although it did end in a strikeout looking. But it was 11 pitches. He battled hard against Kyle Wish. The second pitch elevated. It misses the zone. The count 2-0.
Fouled off 5 pitches with 2 strikes, so was very defensive at the plate, just couldn't get the result as he went down looking.
So Wish, he gave up 1 run in the first, 2 runs in the third. Now he's trying to get a 1-2-3 inning in the fourth, but he goes down 3-0 to Capozzi, who now, with 2 outs in the inning, is threatening to get a man on. Capozzi with Suji on deck and Grant Smith in the hole. The 3-0. Capozzi looks at it, and a 4-pitch walk for Robert Capozzi. So great batter's eye on the day for Capozzi. The 11-pitch at bat, now the 4-pitch walk to get him aboard on first base. And that will bring up the 9-hole hitter, Caden Suji, who was able to single as a leadoff single in the third inning. He then came around to score. He was one of the runs that was scored in the inning. The other run was Brendan Durfee. So Suji, he singled weakly to right field the last time up. Would have been thrown out if the first baseman was watching it, in Clarkson. But Suji was able to scamper into first and then eventually scampered all the way home. First pitch to Suji, swings fouled back and out of play. Some of the fans wanted it, but it just scraped over the fence. So maybe we'll see some children start sprinting out of the stadium, but it doesn't look like it. Not quite the same energy for some of the foul balls as we saw last time we were here.
Yeah, it looks like there's less fans here than the last time that we were here. Still a lot of fans, though.
Caden Suji, behind the count 0-1, looks at a pitch at the knees for a strike. So now it is 0-2 to Caden Suji. We've seen Kyle Wish so far today be effective with the strikeout. He has 4 strikeouts through 3 2/3 innings. Robert Capozzi on first. The wind drifting out to left field. Pull power for a right-handed hitter, the 0-2. Suji golfs out one in the dirt, and the inning is retired. The 5th strikeout for Kyle Wish brings the Oaks to the dugout. 1 runner left on no hits, no errors, and no runs scored in the inning for the Oaks. Bottom 4 we go. You're listening to the Conejo Oaks live stream presented by KDTV. Chris Torres leading off still here in the 4th inning. He's facing off against Kretschmar, Burton, Mercado. The first pitch to Austin Kretschmar. Missed the zone on a slider, a ball. The count 1-0. Kretschmar, he flew out to center field in the 2nd inning on 4 pitches in his first at-bat. Austin Kretschmar, he's been someone who is towards the bottom of the lineup for the Oaks on this, or for the Blues on the season. Batting .231 on the year. He's had just 13 plate appearances as he came over from Stanford. The 1-0 misses elevated, so the count 2-0.
It's actually 3-0.
3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes to Austin Kretschmar. Torres quickly goes behind in the count. The 3-0 pitch, trying to get back in the count. Catches for the zone for a strike. Austin Kretschmar was a few steps out of the box. That pitch looked like it was a little bit low, but the home plate umpire gave the favorable call to Torres. So Kretschmar will have to stand back into the box.
Yeah, and that call got boos from the fans here in San Luis Obispo.
And this one, lined down the left field line and just foul. Kretschmar got barrel on it. It was looking for extra bases and just landed outside of the foul line.
Yeah, and Kretschmar, he was about to be really, really happy with himself. Almost took the walk. Then the next pitch, after getting called the strike, he swings at it and roped it right down the line. Just a little bit too far foul. I mean, maybe a couple inches to the right, and that's fair.
And so now a full count to Austin Kretschmar. So Torres, after going down 3-0, has worked his way back into it. The 6th pitch of the at-bat. Does not get a swing, does not get a strike call, and ends up giving up a walk. So another leadoff batter for the Blues is on. This is the 4th consecutive inning where they've had the leadoff man on. It's Austin Kretschmar at first. He gets aboard with a walk. Chris Torres led a runner on with a walk. That was Ruben Mercado to lead off last inning. So his second walk of the game was to Austin Kretschmar. Mercado is now on deck. Graham Burton at the plate right now. Capozzi holding on Kretschmar at first. First pitch as Kretschmar goes. A swing and a miss, and a hit and run was successful. Burton not able to get his bat on the ball, but Kretschmar was able to get into second base without a throw.
Yeah, and that pitch right there trailed outside. Burton, he swung at it for the hit and run, like you said, but because the pitch was so far outside, it took a lot for Tsuji to get up and catch that ball that he didn't have his feet set so he could throw to second base, and it was an easy stolen base for Kretschmar.
That's going to make it 0-1 to Burton. He looks at a pitch out of the zone. The count is 1-1 to Grant Burton. Burton, his last time up, he flew out on the infield. Grant Smith was the one who made the catch. Burton on the season batting .118. He's had 17 at-bats, just 2 hits on the season. Both of those, though, were home runs. So a power bat at the end of the lineup for the Blues. A mound visit from Caden Tsuji right here, talking to Chris Torres. So now the count, 1-1. Runner on second base with no one down in the inning. Torres to the plate, inside, misses the zone, so 2-1 the count. This is a big game in terms of the CCL standings. Right now, we see the SLO Blues at the top of the standings. They're 8-4 in CCL South play. The Oaks, they are 4th in the CCL. They are 6-6. Chris Torres tries to induce a swing, doesn't get it, falls behind 3-1. So after being ahead in a lot of counts to start out this game, he has gotten behind in a few to start out this inning.
Yeah, the first walk to Kretschmar, and now still nobody out. Kretschmar, he's at second, and he's in danger of walking back-to-back batters to start this inning.
Torres checks the runner, goes to the plate, breaking ball. Ducking is Burton, so back-to-back walks after the hit-and-run attempt from Burton. That was the only strike of the at-bat for Torres, so a five-pitch walk to let the first 2 runners of the inning on, and that's going to prompt pitching coach Scott Rudinsky to come out to the mound for a mound visit with his pitcher.
Yeah, and right now what I think we're seeing from Torres is exactly what we saw against the Cubs in that game on June 27th, that Sunday game. He pitched 4 2/3, couldn't get that final third out. He just ran out of steam, and right now it just looks like He's running out of steam. He's thrown 56 pitches so far in this game. Nobody's warming up in the Oaks bullpen, but right now he's going to have to get himself out of this jam after walking back-to-back batters, has runners on first and second, but just looks like the steam's rolling off because he's walked back-to-back batters, and especially this last one where he threw 5 balls, one was just swung at, and it's just not going in the right direction for Torres.
And that brings up the 9-hole hitter, Ruben Mercado. Mercado walked on a full count his last time up. That was his first time up in the 3rd inning. That was the last inning where the Blues were able to scratch across 2 runs. So right here, the Oaks, they led this game 3-0. Now in danger with no outs and a runner in scoring position. Mercado squares to bunt, pops it up, foul territory against the screen, the count 0-1. Capozzi and Bobo were both charging. There's no one to cover third base if Bobo does charge hard. Grant Smith shaded close to the second base bag, holding on the runner. Smith tells Sulak to not worry about the duties of holding on the runner at second base. Normally it would be the second baseman's duty with a left-handed batter to hold on that runner. The 0-1 to Mercado. Torres to the dish, crashing is Capozzi. Bunt in fair territory. Capozzi to third, in there, and out. A force out from Robert Capozzi, a smart play, a fielder's choice, and Austin Kretschmar was gunned out on the bunt attempt. A safety squeeze was not able to be executed, and 1 out here with still runners on first and second.
And that was a crazy play right there from Capozzi. I mean, he's like a baby giraffe right there. I know you talk about Brandon Belt, the Giants' first baseman, being a baby giraffe, but literally Capozzi, 6'8", spins on the run as he's coming in to field that bunt and throws to third on an absolute strike and gets the runner. Man, what a play.
That's going to bring up the leadoff hitter. It's Ryan Cermak. He's 2 for 2 on the day, a double and a single. First pitch catches the outside corner for a strike. Chris Torres has been able to locate that low and outside corner at the knees, especially to right-handed batters so far today. He starts off with a strike to Ryan Cermak. So 1 out in the inning. Chris Torres, he's been getting out of jams all day. Got out of one in the first, got out of one in the second. Could not get out of one in the third, at least to start, as the 0-1 misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. But he did get out of a jam in the third after he did let up those 2 runs. There was a runner on third base that Torres stranded on third. And now here, he's going to have to get out of a jam with 1 out and runners on first and second in order to keep the Oaks with the lead. The 1-1, the runners go. Suji fakes the throw to both bags, does not throw to either. And so 2 stolen bases, 1 for Mercado, 1 for Grant Burton. And Burton ends up on third, Mercado ends up on second, and there's still 1 out in the inning and a 2-1 count to the leadoff hitter and Ryan Cermak.
And that's a big, big play right there for both of those runners. With 1 out, the double play was still intact. Torres could have gone out with the double play, but because of the steals, he cannot.
This one grounded right back up the middle. Sandoval charging, the runner coming around. A play at the plate, cut off by Capozzi, so Mercado's going to score along with Burton, and the Blues take a 4-3 lead.
And right there, shot a pitch right back up the middle did Cermak. Cermak, he's been hot today, has a single, a double, and now here's another single. This one in 2 RBI single as Burton and the speedy Mercado come in, and it's just tough for Torres. He started off really, really good and has given up 2 runs in each of the last 2 innings.
Still no action in the Oaks bullpen, so it is going to be Chris Torres for the rest of the way in this inning. AJ Esperanza, he comes to the plate. He's only seen 3 pitches in this game. Flew out in his first at-bat. Big lead at first base from Cermak. Suji fakes a throw down, does not throw down. The count 1-0. His last time up, he doubled on the second pitch of the at-bat. It was a 2 RBI double, so 2 hits, both 2 RBIs for the Blues. That Esperanza double as the pickoff back to first, not in time to get Cermak, who also had the 2 RBI single in the last hit that we just saw. Those are the 4 runs that the SLO Blues have accounted for. The 1-0, the runner goes. Suji, the throw down. Grant Smith has to leap, no tag applied. It's not in time. Almost a hidden ball trick as Cermak took a brief step off the bag, but Grant Smith not quite there to get there in time. It was only about a half, maybe not even that, second where we saw Cermak's foot off the bag where he looked into center to see if the ball got past. So now 2-0 with a runner in scoring position. The Oaks, they've already let up 2 runs in the inning. A.J. Esperanza sees a third ball in the count, so now Torres, for the second time in this inning, has fallen behind 3-0.
It's actually 2-1.
Oh, 2-1. A strike call was called on the pitch that was a throw down. So it is 2-1. Chris Torres not as far behind in the count. Spins, turns back. The runner was caught, but Grant Smith was not back on the bag in time. So Torres, a good move, but miscommunication between his middle infielders in order for him to get the runner who hesitated. If there would have been a defender on the bag, it would have been able to tag out Cermak trying to dive back into second base. The 2-1 at the knees, misses low. The count 3-1. So right now, Chris Torres struggling to get through the inning. He's given up 4 runs in 3 2/3 innings pitched so far. His first 2 innings were very well executed, 12 pitches in both. He had a 21 pitch inning last inning, and now we see him running up the pitch count once again in this inning. The 3-1 at the knees, a strike, a full count. A.J. Esperanza now deep into the count for the first time today. He's only seen 3 total pitches coming into the at-bat. He's about to see his 6th pitch.
And right now for Torres, this is a huge at-bat. Esperanza had a double his last time, has a full count. He needs an out here.
The 23rd pitch of the inning for Torres, skied into the shot on the grass. Underneath it, makes the play, and the runner cannot advance. So a fly out to third base for the second out of the inning, and Chris Torres is 1 out away from getting out.
And that was huge right there. He needed the out. He got the out. And now he really needs to execute. And this is the toughest out. Mason Grotto, probably the best hitter in the CCL South. And right now, Grotto, he reached on infield single his last time up. Got to retire him here.
Torres has had success against Grotto, a 3-pitch strikeout, and then a ground ball on the infield that was just not able to be retired. So Grotto, first pitch to him, catches the outside corner for a strike. The count 0-1 to Mason Grotto. And shout out to Logan Soforenko. Thank you for telling us that the broadcast looks fantastic. Logan Soforenko does a great job as the PA announcer at George Sparky Anderson Field at Cal Lutheran for the Oaks home games.
Definitely does a great job.
The 0-1, lined into right field, gets past Capozzi. Foreman, the throw in, the relay home, not in time, and diving in safely is Cermak, and the Blues take a 5-3 lead.
It's just tough right now for Torres. Mentioned the steam's coming off, and gets the out to Esperanza. You think there's a slight hope that he can get out, just giving up 2 runs, but now a RBI single for Grotto. It's now 5-3. I mean, it's just tough. The first 2 innings were flawless, gave up no runs, only had 1 hit, and now back-to-back innings of allowing multiple runs.
Vince Martinez, he's one of the few Oaks that has been retired twice today. He flew out in the first, struck out in the third. Right here, sees a strike to him. The count 0-1. The only Blues that have not reached base yet today, actually it's just one, it's Vince Martinez. TJ Clarkson, he reached on both a hit by pitch and a fielder's choice. Justin Trimble reached on a fielder's choice, and everyone else has reached base at least at one point. So Martinez trying to join the party from the rest of his starting lineup to be someone who has been able to reach base today. So far on the day, he is 0-2. Pickoff back to first base, diving back in safely is Mason Grotto. Grotto on the day, 2-3, so he's going to raise that CCL South leading total in terms of batting average. Chris Torres, he might trail down in terms of ERA today because he has not had the type of day that he would have liked. Grotto's running. Martinez fouls one off, so Grotto going to have to retreat back to first base. The count now 0-2 to Vince Martinez, who struck out on 3 pitches the last time he came to the plate. That was one of 3 strikeouts for the day for Chris Martinez, or for Chris Torres.
And this is big right now. Like you mentioned, the 3-pitch strikeout the last inning. Now with 2 outs, this is the biggest. You need to get the out here and end the inning just allowing 3 runs.
1 on, 2 out, 0-2, grounded to second base. Sulak was covering the bag on a stolen base, so it gets through the hole, and now runners on the corners. Vince Martinez grounded what should have been an out, but with the stolen base of Mason Grotto, or at least the attempted steal, it allows for Grotto to get to third and the ball to get through the infield, and there's still the inning keeps going as there are runners on the corners.
And you can see Brent Jocks now starting to warm up in the Oaks bullpen. But right now, Torres, he's given up 3 runs. Just hasn't been his inning, his last 2 innings too. And mentioned it against the Grizzlies. He had a great performance before giving up a lot of runs late in his outing. Right now, he's given up a lot of runs late in his outing again.
TJ Clarkson, the first baseman, he's reached base twice today, has not gotten a hit. Sees the first pitch into him at the knees for a strike, the count 0-1. Clarkson reached base on a hit by pitch in the second and a fielder's choice in the third. Right here, we see the 0-1 in there for a strike, so back-to-back batters that we have seen Chris Torres go ahead 0-2 on. The last batter, Vince Martinez, grounded through the hole between first and second base, was able to get into the outfield. Mason Grotto on third, Martinez on first, Chris Torres on the hill, TJ Clarkson in the box. The 0-2 swung on, grounded to Sulak at second, stays down on the ball, throws to first, and the inning is over, but not after 3 runs for the Blues on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. We will head to the top of the 5th inning. The Oaks, they trail for the first time today. You're listening to the Oaks live stream on YouTube. Leading off the inning for the Oaks, top of the 5th, it's Grant Smith, the leadoff hitter. He reached base and came around to score in the first. Watches the first pitch into him, missed the zone. The count 1-0. Grant Smith, his last time up, flew out on the infield after going down 0-2 in the count. Check swing here, ball misses the zone low. The count 2-0 to Grant Smith. So Smith, after going down 0-2 in his last at-bat, now goes ahead 2-0, and that's where he's comfortable. He's been working counts deep, especially as of late. As a leadoff hitter, he's seen a lot of deep counts. This one bounced foul outside of the bag at third, the count 2-1. Yesterday, Grant Smith saw 5 plate appearances, and he saw 5 or more pitches in every single one. 8 pitches in his double in the first, 7 pitches and a walk in the second, and then 5 pitches in his last 3 at-bats. It was a single, walk, and strikeout. So he saw a lot of pitches yesterday. As he watches a ball in the dirt, the count is now 3-1 to Grant Smith. He goes ahead in the count, and the Oaks, they're trying to bounce back after a 3-run inning for the Blues in the bottom of the 4th. A leadoff hitter getting on, and Grant Smith would be big for that as he grounds one outside of third base again, so the count is worked full. Smith again sees a deep count, the deepest count that he's seen today. He singled on 3 pitches in the first, flew out on 3 pitches in the third. So now a full count, the longest that he's seen Kyle Wish so far today. As you see someone through now the 3rd time through the lineup. Gets a little bit easier to dial them up. The full count popped up in the infield. Mercado underneath it, as well as Grotto. Mason Grotto calls him off, makes the catch on the infield grass, and Grant Smith is retired. A full count flyout.
And that's exactly the same pitch that he saw on the flyout in the 3rd inning. It was a fastball elevated that time. Got under it as he was trying to defend with 2 strikes. Lifts it high in the air, flies out in the infield.
That's going to bring up Brendan Bobo, the left-handed hitter. He has a double on the day. That came in the 1st inning. He lined out to shortstop and now cuts through the first pitch of his at-bat in the 5th. He goes down 0-1. Kyle Wish, after having a rough start to his outing, having given up 3 runs, as the 0-1 misses the zone, 1-1. He then has come back and been much more effective. 1 pitch and an out to Austin Carrillo, and then 2 strikeouts to end the 4th inning with a walk sandwiched in between. Bobo bounces one outside of the bag at first. He goes down in the count 1-2. And the location of pitches from Kyle Wish has been much more effective after the first few innings. The Oaks so far today have left 2 runners on third base as well. That's Brendan Bobo in the 1st and TJ Foreman in the 3rd. That 90 feet of difference both times is the difference in this ballgame as the Oaks, they trail by 2. The 1-2 bounce foul outside of first base once again. Brendan Bobo has dialed up Kyle Wish. He's just too far out in front.
And Bobo right now, this is the at-bat you like to see. His first couple of times, you said swinging very early, now battling a little bit. This is a step in the right direction for Bobo.
The 1-2, Kyle Wish stares in for a long time now, heads to the plate, elevated above the head of Brendan Bobo. The count is 2-2. Brendan Bobo about to see the 6th pitch rather of this at-bat. Outfield playing straight up defense to a pull lefty with the wind blaring towards left field. Bobo lines one to first base, caught on the knee by the first baseman Clarkson, and Bobo has lined out twice on the infield. Both of them would have been singles if they would have gotten into a gap, but both of them went right into a defender. So Bobo has hit the ball hard all 3 times, but has been caught out twice. That's going to bring up Brendan Durfee. Durfee has 2 RBIs on the day, a sac fly to left field in the 1st inning. That scored Grant Smith for the first run of the game, and then a single in the 3rd. That ended up scoring Caden Suji. Durfee then came around to score in the inning. First pitch to him, in there for a strike, the count 0-1 to Durfee. And what do you think of the insertion of Brendan Durfee into the lineup?
I mean, I think it's paid off. He has a couple of RBIs, a sac fly and then the RBI single.
The 0-1 flared to left field. Tracking at the line is Burton in foul territory. He makes the play. So Brendan Durfee is retired. A great play in left field by Burton. And the Oaks are sat down in short order, 1, 2, 3, as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Blues, they lead 5-3. New pitcher on the hill for the Oaks. It's Brent Jonks. Chris Torres' day is done. 4 innings pitched. He had 7 hits, 1 hit by pitch, and 3 walks, so 11 total base runners led on. 3 strikeouts, but those 11 base runners equated to 5 earned runs, those all coming in the 3rd and 4th inning. Brent Jonks now facing off against Justin Trimble, the only batter to not be able to get to the plate last inning. First pitch to him in there for a strike, the count 0-1. Trimble, he has been not a consistent member of the starting lineup for the Blues, as the 0-1 cut on and missed, 0-2, but he has been someone who has come up clutch for the Blues all season long. Against the Oaks, when the Blues traveled down to Cal Lutheran, Justin Trimble came in, and in the 9th inning, he gave the last RBI of the game that put the Oaks ahead in the top of the 9th inning. Put the Blues ahead, in the top of the 9th, as the 0-2 missed outside, count 1-2. Then yesterday, Justin Trimble came in a pinch hit scenario with 2 runners on, and he ended up hitting a walk-off pinch hit home run to give the Blues a win.
I believe that was a double.
Jonks, pitch in for a ball, just misses, too far elevated. The count 2-2. So Brent Jonks facing off against his first batter. Jonks has been someone for the Oaks that has been consistent all season out of the pen. The 2-2 count, broken bat to third base off the hands. Bobo the throw to first in time to get Trimble. So 1 out early for Brent Jonks in the inning.
And that's a great start for Jonks. Jonks hasn't thrown in about a week, and so he was really, really hot coming into this game. We always say, who's hot coming into the game for the pitchers? That means that who's going to throw. Jonks, he was red hot. He told me he was 120% ready for this game. Yesterday, he was 100% ready to pitch. Today, he's 120% ready.
Brent Jocks on the season, he has 5 2/3 innings, a 1.58 ERA through those 3 appearances. First pitch to Kretschmar, bounced foul, the count 0-1. Jocks, he also has an appearance against the Blues. The last time that these two teams played on July 4th, Jocks appeared. He came in for the 8th and 9th inning. He was credited with the loss. 1 earned run in 1.2 innings. It's the only earned run that Jocks has given up on the season. He allowed 2 hits and 2 walks, as well as a strikeout. Kretschmar swings and misses. He goes down quickly in the count 0-2. And Jocks, even though he did give up those runs against the Blues, he said that he thought he pitched a good game. He thought that sometimes there were well-executed pitches that did not get called strikes. And he also thought that, you know, you cannot blame the umpire, but he also thought that he pitched a very good outing despite the fact that he had 2 walks in the 9th inning as the 1-2 misses inside to Kretschmar. The count is now 1-2. So Kretschmar so far today walked his last time up on 6 pitches. That was a full count. And then his first time up, he flew out to center field. Big gap up the middle between Sulak and Smith on the infield. The 1-2. Kretschmar fouls off into the screen. The count still 2-2. So Brent Jocks has forced a ground out to start off the inning on a 5-pitch at-bat. Now the 5th pitch of this at-bat incoming to Austin Kretschmar.
And Jocks, he was telling me that he wants to work the curveball a little bit more today. Thinking about maybe using it more as a strikeout pitch. Potentially going to see it here with 2 strikes.
Kretschmar struck out 3 times on the season. He has had limited play as he arrived late for the Blues. The 1-2, Kretschmar fights off again. So 6 pitches coming in this at-bat as Kretschmar has fouled off 2 pitches on 1-2 counts to stay alive against Brent Jocks. We haven't seen the curveball yet as an out pitch in this at-bat. We'll see if Jocks tries to go to it here. The count 1-2 to Austin Kretschmar. Jocks delivers to the plate and fouled out of play. The 3rd consecutive foul ball for Kretschmar. And all of the strikes in this at-bat to Austin Kretschmar have been via the foul ball as well.
Trying to tie Robert Capozzi right now with who can have the most foul tips in an at-bat.
The count still 1-2. Austin Kretschmar has fouled off 5 pitches in the at-bat. He's seen 6, the 7th coming in. Check swing, did he go around? No, he didn't, says the first base umpire. So a slider in the dirt. Brent Jocks tries to get him to swing. Kretschmar does not go all the way around. So the count is 2-2. Brent Jocks, he has a 4-seam, 2-seam, curveball, and slider in his arsenal. He's working on a changeup, but he says it's a little too inconsistent as of now, so we probably won't see it in this game. We just saw his slider. The 2-2 he goes to. Pitch at the knees, just misses below, a fastball. So the count has been worked full. We have now seen 8 pitches in the at-bat to Kretschmar. And Jocks trying not to let Kretschmar walk after going ahead in the count 1-2, after pummeling the zone and forcing a plethora of foul balls. The full count bounces in. A slider gets away from Jocks, and a walk for Kretschmar after 9 pitches in the at-bat lets a man on first base with 1 out in the inning.
And that's just a tough break for Jocks. You get ahead in the account. Kretschmar, he just keeps on fouling away pitches, fouling away 5 of them, and he just finds his way to first on the walk. It's tough for Jocks, but already 14 pitches through the first 2 batters. They've been working the count on him.
And that's Kretschmar's 3rd walk of the season. 4th walk if you count the one he already had today. So 2 walks today. They tie his total for the season coming into the day. Graham Burton, another Stanford man, swings and misses at the first pitch. The count 0-1, so Jocks continues to get ahead early. Burton flew out on the infield his first at-bat, then walked on 5 pitches, came around to score in the 4th inning in his last at-bat. Burton out of Stanford, another one of those players that arrived to the team a little bit late. He has not had the success so far to start out this season. The 0-1, he looks at inside. The count is 1-1. He's batting .118 on the year in his 17 at-bats. He has just 2 hits. The walk today was his first walk of the entire season. He also has 9 strikeouts to his name, so he is susceptible to going down swinging. Jocks with a runner on first, the 1-1, swing and a miss. So Grant Burton now goes down 1-2. And Burton, we just mentioned, someone who has been susceptible to go down with the strikeout, and Brent Jocks, he is a pitcher that is a strikeout pitcher. And under 6 innings pitched, he has 6 strikeouts, so a little over 1 strikeout per inning. Jock steps off the hill, looks back the runner in Kretschmar at first. So right now for the Blues, we've seen a lot of people reach base twice, Kretschmar being one of them. Grant Burton trying to be another one. Ryan Cermak, he leads the way with 3 times reaching base. He's 3 for 3 on the day, a double, 2 singles, 2 runs scored, and 2 RBIs. Jocks checks the runner at first with a pickoff attempt. It's not in time. Count still 1-2 to Grant Burton.
And Cermak, he's really turned it around. Entering that game last Friday, he was on a big strikeout streak, and right now, here today, 3 hits. That's quite the turnaround in a week.
Grant Burton, the batter at the plate. Big gap in left center field. Sandoval shaded towards the right, and this is going to hit Burton. So Burton reached base for the 2nd time today. Actually, they're going to say that it didn't. He's not going to take his base.
It was a foul tip off the end of the bat.
Oh, that's unfortunate. That is very unfortunate for Grant Burton. You never like to get hit in the knob of the bat in order to prevent you from getting on the bag, especially because Austin Kretschmar, he was stealing second, and we've seen a few times today Suji not even attempt to throw down. Sandoval shaded towards the right of center, but a right-handed hitter and the wind drifting out to left field. I think it's a confusing defensive alignment for Raul Sandoval right now in dead center. But it doesn't matter because Grant Burton, he strikes out swinging. He's now double digits in strikeouts on the year, and Brent Jocks picks up his first of the game.
That's a great at bat for Jocks. Gets ahead 1-2. Burton fouls off a pitch off the end of his bat, so got away with a lucky play there. Didn't hit at Burton, hit the end of the bat, so it was a foul. Kept the bat alive with a 1-2 count, and then strikes him out swinging. And 2 outs. Still have the runner on first, though.
Ruben Mercado, he's reached base twice today. Swings and misses on the first pitch. Actually, he fouled it right back to the screen. So either way, the count 0-1. He had a leadoff walk in the 3rd inning, in which he came around to score. And then he came around to score last inning after reaching base with a fielder's choice on a bunt. It was an unsuccessful bunt play where he's trying to advance the runners. So the count 0-1. Jocks to the dish. Misses outside. The count 1-1. The runner on first base is Austin Kretschmar. Brent Jocks, the man on the hill. Ruben Mercado, the man in the box. Austin Kretschmar, someone on the season who has not stolen any bags on the year. So not a threat to base steal, even though he did go running in the last at-bat. The 1-1 as Jocks heads to the dish, skied high on the infield. Sulak coming in, Smith and all of the infielders coming in. Grant Smith on the mound, calls them all off and makes the play. So the inning is over for Brent Jocks. 4 batters faced, just 1 runner left on after a walk. No hits, no runs in the inning, and no errors. To the top of the 6th inning we go. You're listening to the Conejo Oaks live stream presented by KDTV. on the hill for top 6, TJ Foreman. He is in the box for the Oaks. Kyle Wish on the hill. First pitch to Foreman from Wish is in there for a strike. The count 0-1 to Foreman. The last time up, TJ, he got his second extra base hit of the season. It was a triple. Now he fouls off the second pitch of this at-bat and goes down 0-2. The first 2 at-bats that he saw, he put a ball in play on the first pitch of both of them, so a little different story here. His first time up, he grounded out to first base. Foreman now down in the count 0-2. The right-handed Wish skies one in, and a flare down the right field line. Tracking back is Trimble at the line, makes the play, and the first out of the inning is retired.
And Foreman, he's been swinging the bat really well as of late. That time just flies it out the opposite way to right field. But right now, Kyle Wish, he's pitching in the 6th inning. Last time he started against the Oaks, that was his first start of the year. He'd come out of the bullpen every time prior to that. He pitched 3 innings at the most prior to that start. He pitched 5 innings last time, and now pitching into the 6th.
First pitch into Raul Sandoval in there for a strike. The count 0-1. Raul Sandoval, he's struck out twice so far today, 1 on 6 pitches, 1 on 8 pitches. So he's been seeing counts deep. Sandoval, swing and a miss, goes down quickly 0-2. And this has been a theme of Sandoval as of late. He has 8 strikeouts in the last 5 games headed into today, make it 10 in the last 6, trying not to make it more. It's the 0-2 from Wish. 3 strikeouts for Raul Sandoval. This one, he went down much easier than he did on the previous 2. So an 0-for-3 day with 3 strikeouts for Sandoval, not the type of day that he wants to have.
No, it is not, and that at-bat, probably his worst at-bat of the game. He had a 6-pitch strikeout in the first, an 8-pitch strikeout, which he fouled off 3 pitches in the third. And right now, 3 straight pitches he swung on, 3 straight strikes.
And I would take out the probably. I would say definitively his worst at-bat. That's going to bring up Austin Carrillo. Shout out to Phil Call, Hunter's dad. Thank you for waving at us in the comments section. First pitch, Austin Carrillo. Looks at a ball in the dirt. The count 1-0. Here we see Wish. He's approaching his 90th pitch of the afternoon. He's sitting in the mid to high 80s in terms of his pitch count. The 1-0, Carrillo, swing and a miss way out in front. The barrel head left the zone much before the ball got there. So the count is 1-1. There's 2 outs, a big hole up the middle between Mercado and Kretschmar at short and second. Big gap in left center as well between the left fielder Burton down the line and Cermak in dead center. The 1-1, lazy swing from Carrillo, ends up getting a piece of wood on the ball, but fouls it back. So the count 1-2.
And Carrillo right now, with 2 strikes, going to have to battle. We've mentioned it all season. Really locked in when he gets 2 strikes. He fouls off a lot of pitches. Right now, his deepest at bat he's seen all game.
The 1-2, Carrillo fights one off, flares it down the left field line and into the Oaks bullpen. So the count is still 1-2 to Austin Carrillo. I was talking with Austin Carrillo about a week ago, and I was talking to him about when he gets down to 2 strikes and a count, and he says he really likes to single out the pitcher. It's a battle between him and the pitcher, and he doesn't want to lose. The 1-2, lined into right center field, tracking back is Cermak, going to the gap, he gets underneath it, and a ball driven by Carrillo, not able to get down. So the second consecutive 1-2-3 inning for Kyle Wish sends the Oaks down in short order. To the bottom of the 6th we go. The Oaks, they still trail 5-3. Leadoff man for the Blues, leading off the bottom 6. It's going to be Ryan Cermak. And boy, has he had a day so far. 3 for 3 on the day. A double and 2 singles. That double came in the first inning. The singles came in the 3rd and 4th. Now in the 6th, he's facing off against Brent Jocks for the first time, and skies one high in foul territory. Brendan Bobo tracking back, makes the catch, and the first out of the inning is retired. Cermak gone for the first time of the day.
Yeah, and it was first pitch swinging, an early at bat. In the first inning on that double, he had a 5-pitch at bat. In the 4th inning with the single, he had a 4-pitch at bat. Right here sees the first pitch. He liked it from Jocks, but got a little bit too under it, and Bobo catches him in foul territory.
That'll bring up the 2-hole hitter, A.J. Esperanza. He has a double on the day, but has flown out once on the infield, once to center. First pitch to him, misses the zone, the count 1-0. Caden Suji still the catcher behind the dish. Cody Sulak at second. Capozzi at first. Grant Smith at shortstop. Brendan Bobo on the hot corner. Raul Sandoval in center. Foreman in right. And Austin Carrillo in left. Brent Jocks, the man on the hill, delivers the pitch to Esperanza. It is skied high into shallow right. Sulak tracking back. Foreman coming in. Sulak calls it off. Drops the ball. And an error from Cody Sulak underneath it. And that's going to be a man on first base in A.J. Esperanza.
And Sulak right there calls off Foreman. Foreman was in the area. He was charging. And right there, he just gets a little bit too lazy as he takes his eye off the ball at the last second, goes off of the front of his mitt, and it falls just a silly error.
And Sulak, a normal catcher playing in the field at second base. He is a natural second baseman, at least that's what he tells me. Someone who grew up playing second base. First pitch into Mason Grotto, a strike, the count 0-1. But Sulak, he hasn't played second base since high school. The first time he's played second base has been the few times he's been at that position with the Oaks this season. Trying to get more playing time after there's been a revolving door of catchers behind the plate. It's the 0-1 to Grotto, misses, the count 1-1. And the catcher position wouldn't be as congested if Anson Arrows was not one of the better catchers in the entire CCL behind the dish for the Oaks. He is someone who we think is going to be represented in the CCL Showcase game next Wednesday. The 1-1 to Mason Grotto. Jocks stares in to the dish. Swing and a line drive into right center field. Sandoval and Foreman converging on it. TJ Foreman meets it in the gap, makes the catch. The runner tagging back to first base and gets back in time. Running all the way and getting pretty much to second base was Esperanza, but he had to track back after Foreman was able to track down the ball for the second out of the inning.
Initially, it looked like Raul Sandoval was going to have the better read on it, but Foreman, the speed from right field, goes to the center field, right field gap and just gets a little bit further than Sandoval in the play, able to call him off, make the play on the run. And the runner, Esperanza, he was already to second base thinking it was going to drop, had to trot back to first because of the excellent play by Foreman.
And that brings up Vince Martinez. Singled his last time up. He was the last Blue to appear on the base paths today. This time, line shot hard and foul outside of the line and left. That was barreled up. A hard liner that would have been extra bases if it would have been in fair territory. Someone check the exit velocity on that one because it was crushed. But it landed foul, so the count just 0-1. The runner at first is A.J. Esperanza. He got on the error by Cody Sulak. The 0-1 bounced foul, so in front of the pitches is Vince Martinez. He lined one outside to the left and now bounced one outside to the left. So the count 0-2, Brent Jocks ahead in the count again today. He had a strikeout last inning. He's looking for his second of the day here to Vince Martinez. Martinez has already struck out on 3 pitches so far today. That came in the 3rd inning against Chris Torres. Pickoff back to first. Jocks making us wait for an extra minute before he's going to go to the dish to try to strike out Martinez. We hear a few boos from the crowd. They don't like the fact that Jocks was checking the runner at first.
Still a good turnout of fans here today. a lot of them have been engaged.
The 0-2, swing and a miss, the second strikeout of the day for Brent Jocks, the second strikeout of the day for Vince Martinez, and the inning is retired. No runs, no hits, one error by Cody Sulak, which leaves the runner on first base. To the top of the seventh we go. You're listening to the Conejo Oaks live stream presented by KDTV. Ryan Milano with Knight Uretsky, top seven, Knight. Final three play-by-play innings belong to you.
Thank you, Ryan. Cody Sulak, he's going to lead it off. New pitcher on the mound for the Blues. That's John Kelly. He's number 37. He's going to be a senior in the fall as the first pitch to Sulak misses 1-0. Kelly, he's undecided, but he's originally played at Oklahoma State University. He's from Rutherford, New Jersey, but he's undecided, not going to be playing in Stillwater. The 1-0 to Sulak, that one's fouled off. Count even 1-1. Kelly, this past year at Oklahoma State, he had a 9.95 ERA. That's in 6.1 innings pitched. So 6 1/3 innings pitched. He's given up 7 runs, 9 walks, has 8 strikeouts. That was this past season at Oklahoma State, as the 1-1 is bounced into Sulak. So now 2-1 to Sulak. This season with the Blues, he pitched against the Oaks. That was on July 4th on Sunday. He pitched an inning, didn't give up a single hit, and he only had 1 walk and a strikeout in the 4 batters he faced.
That's his only appearance of the season.
It is. The 2-1 in there for a strike. So Sulak now count even 2-2. And Sulak coming into this at bat, he flew out in his first time up. That was in the second. Then he struck out looking on the 4th pitch he saw That was in the fourth. And now up for the third time today. The 2-2 swung on and missed. An 0 for 3 day for Cody Sulak. And he's sent down. First out here in the top of the seventh.
And before we completely move on to John Kelly, I do want to give the final line for Kyle Wish. He pitched 6 innings, allowed 6 hits and a walk, 6 strikeouts, 3 earned runs on just shy of 90 pitches.
89 pitches on the day for Wish in those 6 innings, so an impressive performance. His longest performance of the year. He had pitched 5 innings last Friday against the Oaks, 6 innings today as it's fouled off by Capozzi to the first pitch to him. 0-1 to Robert Capozzi. Capozzi today, he had a strikeout on the 11th pitch he saw, fouled off 5 pitches. That was in the second. Then in the 4th inning, he walked on 4 straight balls. Pitches outside. The count now even 1-1 to Robert Capozzi as he's standing in for the 3rd time today. The sun starting to set a little bit here as the sky's becoming a lot more darker. The 1-1 to Capozzi misses outside. It's now 2-1 to Robert Capozzi. The Oaks, they've been sent down in order for the past 2 innings. Already Sulak retired here, so 8 straight outs as Capozzi fouls this one towards the left field line, heading over and making the play is Burton in foul territory. A nice play on the run, and now 2 are gone.
Yeah, and right there for Capozzi, just fought one off on the outside part of the plate. He couldn't catch up to the fastball from John Kelly. Thought it was going to be flared out towards the Oaks bullpen. But we've seen a few times now where Burton has been able to track the ball near that chalk down the left field line and make catches. He made that play on Capozzi right there, and then he made the play to end the inning against Brendan Durfee, another power left-handed hitter to end the 5th.
Kelly has a fastball that's low to mid-90s. It's a gunner. So far in this inning, he's thrown 9 pitches and has 2 outs. First pitch to Caden Suji misses inside. 1-0 to Suji. Suji, his first time up, he got on with a weak single to right field. He sliced it, got aboard, then came over to second on a pass ball. Came around to score on a Brendan Durfee single. But his last time up, a strikeout on 3 pitches. The 1-0 swung on ball in the dirt, but still a strike. The count even 1-1 to Caden Suji.
And so Suji right now, he's trying to be effective today. Right now, it's really the turning point of his day. He's 1 for 2 with a strikeout. So if he gets a hit here, he has a good day. If he gets a strikeout here, it's a bad day. Somewhere in between, it's a mediocre day.
Swung on and missed again. The count now 1-2 to Caden Suji. With the single in the 3rd, that was his first conference play hit of the year. He was batting 0-100 entering this game in conference play.
0-100.
0-100. 0-0-0-0. Pitch goes above Suji's head.
Never heard that before.
2-2. Gotta keep things interesting, Ryan.
Is that a coin term? Have you trademarked it?
I have not trademarked it. Should I trademark it?
I think you should. I like it. 0-100.
0-100? I like it.
You don't want to be batting 0-100.
You don't want to be batting 0-100, and you don't want to have $0-100 in your bank account.
Really, it's a terrible number.
The 2-2. This one's grounded soft infield. Mercado, the shortstop, he's coming over. The throw on the run gets out Suji, and another 1-2-3 inning for the Oaks. We head to the bottom of the 7th inning. The Oaks, they're trailing 5-3. You're listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream presented by KDTV. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you here in San Luis Obispo. 5-3 the score. The Blues, they're leading. The Oaks, they led 3-0, but the Blues, they've answered back with 5 unanswered runs. Brent Jocks still on the mound for the Oaks. The first pitch from Jocks is in there for a strike. It's now 0-1 to TJ Clarkson. TJ Clarkson today, he has a hit by pitch and then was out at second. That was in the second inning. He reached on a fielder's choice. That was in the third, and then a ground out in the fourth. Now up for the fourth time today. The 0-1, this one's grounded foul down the first base line. And Jocks, he gets ahead now 0-2.
I'm right here for Brent Jocks. He's just been really starting out to really attack the strike zone. We saw him go 2 strikes to the first 3 batters that he saw in his outing, and then we saw him strike out the last batter. And again, here we see him start out the 7th inning with 2 strikes to this batter. So he's just been able to, especially early, get a lot of strikes on a lot of batters.
The 0-2. Check swing. Did he go? He did not go, said the third base umpire. So now the count 1-2. Clarkson today getting the start at first base. The last 2 times the Oaks have played the Blues, the first baseman's been Austin Shell, the Cal State Fullerton product. Plays in Fullerton with Oaks Brendan Bobo and JT Naviak. Shell not in the lineup today for the Blues. As the 1-2 pitch, this one's grounded foul down the first base line. Clarkson now, 1-2 again. 5th pitch of the bat coming up.
I was talking with Brent Jocks a few days ago, and he said, and I asked him what's he going to bring to a count, especially if he's ahead in the count. And he said most of the time he'll bring an off-speed pitch, but sometimes he'll try to go up and in with his fastball. And he says he's a more location pitcher than he is a power pitcher, but he's been starting as of the last few years to get up in that velocity department.
The 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed from Clarkson. Third strikeout of the day for Jocks. Now 1 is gone here in the bottom of the 7th.
And so Brent Jocks doing a great job of just attacking the strike zone and keeping the Oaks in this game. After they fell down 5-3, the Oaks offense has really been sputtering. They've had 3 consecutive 1-2-3 innings, but Brent Jocks has been helping them out on the hill. He has not had a 1-2-3 inning yet, but has only allowed 1 base runner in both the 5th and the 6th, and the one in the 6th came on an error.
First pitch from Jocks misses high and away to Justin Trimble. Count now 1-0 to Trimble. And Trimble today, the walk-off hitter yesterday, he has reached on a fielder's choice in the 2nd, and since then 0-2 with a strikeout and a ground out. That ground out happened last in the 5th. Jocks is set. The 1-0. This one swung on and missed by Trimble. Count now even 1-1 to Trimble. Trimble, he's batting .500 in conference play, only .250 on the year, but in conference play, he's been impressive. Has a 1-1 count here with Brent Jocks. The pitch. This one's fouled back into the screen. The count now 1-2 to Justin Trimble.
And so Jocks continuing to get ahead early in counts. We see him, again, for his 3rd consecutive count, have 2 strikes and less than 2 balls.
Trimble, a local boy, he's from Arroyo Grande, California. That's just south of here. It's right where Pismo Beach is. If you just go a little bit more inland towards Lake Lopez here in California. As the 1-2 swung on and miss, a strikeout for Trimble. The throw down to first from Suji is in time. Back-to-back Ks for Jocks, his 4th of the afternoon. And now 2 are gone here in the bottom of the 7th.
Back-to-back Ks if you include the strikeout that ended the 6th inning to Vince Martinez.
There you go. It's been impressive. 3 pitches to Martinez, 5 pitches to Clarkson, and now 4 pitches to Trimble. And now coming up to the plate is Austin Kretschmar, the 2nd baseman. It's his 2nd time facing Brent Jocks. His 1st time faced him. It was a 4-pitch walk. That was in the 5th inning. but going to see the righty again for the second time. First pitch, he squared to bunt, then pulled back. The pitch was inside, so 1-0 to Kretzmar. In that fifth inning, he was left stranded after Grant Burton, the man on deck, and Ruben Mercado both got out. Burton a strikeout and Mercado a flyout. Prior to that bat for Kretzmar, he had a walk in the fourth inning, and then he stole second base. He was out at third on the fielder's choice play. Flew out in the second, as the 1-0 to him is roped down the line. It's going to be fair. Heading over now is Carrillo to field it. Heading to second now is Kretzmar. And a 2-out double for Austin Kretzmar.
And right there, Kretzmar does a good job. He saw that Jonks was attacking the strike zone. He waited for a good pitch for him to hit. And right there, Jonks left one a little bit too far, middle cut in the inside part of the plate, about belt high, and Kretzmar just able to put it exactly where it's supposed to be, right down that left field line. Austin Carrillo, a long run to stop it from going all the way to the wall.
So now coming up to the plate, Grant Burton, the left fielder. He stands in with a runner in scoring position. That's Kretzmar at second base. Sulak, the second baseman, he's going to be covering the bag for the Oaks. Brent Jocks, he's the man on the mound. That double from Kretzmar ended 3 straight strikeout streak from Jocks as the first pitch is swung on and missed to Burton, 0-1. And speaking of strikeouts, Burton struck out his last time up. That was in the fifth inning. It was a 5-pitch at bat to him. Walked prior to that in the fourth, and then in the second inning he flew out. So an 0-for-2 day for him, but he does have a run scored after he did walk in the fourth.
Suji calls time. He wants to go talk to Jocks.
So, Ryan, what do you think Suji is talking to Jocks about here? Just he taps him and gives him a pat on the back and heads back to the plate.
Well, I think the batter would love to know what he'd be talking about. I'm no Nostradamus. I have no idea what Suji's talking to him about, and I'm sure that if Grant Burton had an idea of what Suji was talking about, then he'd have a good idea what's kind of happening on this next pitch.
So a quick meeting. 0-1 the count to Grant Burton. The pitch in there for a strike. 0-2 to Grant Burton, so Jocks gets ahead. Jocks has a chance for his third strikeout of the inning, his fifth strikeout in the game. And an 0-2 count to Grant Burton. Burton, 10 strikeouts on the year, in danger of his 11th as the 0-2. Swung on and missed his 11th strikeout of the year. Jocks his third strikeout of the inning, 5th of the game. One hit was Austin Kretzmar as he's left on second, and that'll do it for the 7th inning. The Oaks, they're trailing 5-3. We head to the top of the 8th. You are listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream. At Uretsky with Ryan Milano here in San Luis Obispo, California. The Oaks, they're trailing 5-3 here in the top of the 8th inning. Grant Smith, Brendan Bobo, and Brendan Durfee, they're due up for the Oaks. John Kelly, he's still on the mound for the Blues. He had a 1-2-3 inning, striking out Cody Sulak, then getting Robert Capozzi to fly out as the first pitch to Grant Smith was low. A ball, 1-0. Then he got Caden Suji to ground out to the shortstop, Ruben Mercado, and that ended a 1-2-3 inning in the 7th. Now working here in the 8th. The 1-0, that one misses away again. It's now 2-0 to Grant Smith.
And this is where the Oaks really have the opportunity to strike back here against the Blues. With the top of their lineup coming up, this is how they generated the runs in both the first and the third inning.
The 2-0, Smith grounds that one foul. It's now 2-1.
And so right here with Grant Smith leading off, he got out in his last 2 at-bats, but before that he'd been swinging a very hot bat, and I'd say still is swinging a hot bat despite 2 infield flyouts. And right here, he's the spark that needs to ignite the run for the Oaks.
Yeah, that single in the first inning on the third pitch he saw is the 2-1. That one catches the knees inside for a strike. It's now even 2-2. His last at bat, he did fly out, but it was a 6-pitch at bat, which he worked the count full. Now has a 2-2 count, and the 5th pitch coming up to him from John Kelly. Wind starting to die down a little bit here in San Luis Obispo as the 2-2, that one's in the dirt again. It's now count full to Grant Smith for the 2nd straight time today for Smith.
Yeah, so it's the 2nd time today that Smith has seen a full count, but he saw 2 full counts yesterday as well. And while he didn't get on today in a full count, he did get on both times yesterday, including a double to lead off the entire game.
The payoff pitch. That one's low, and Grant Smith gets aboard with a walk. The leadoff man's aboard, and the tying run's coming up to the plate in Brendan Bobo.
Tying run and Bobo to the plate, the biggest power hitter for the Oaks, but also for the Oaks, the biggest power for the hitter for the Oaks, and that helps because the wind has died down. The flag, it's slightly towards left field, but it's no longer a stiff breeze like we've seen.
Bobo, a lefty. Just because the wind's been breezy here doesn't mean a lefty can hit a home run. We saw AJ Esperanza the last time here last Friday. He was a lefty. He hit a moonshot over the right field wall. Bobo has a chance here to tie the game with a 2-run shot as the first pitch to him misses the zone, 1-0. And Brendan Bobo today, he's swung a hard-hitting bat. He's gotten out twice on a line out to the first baseman in the 5th and a line out to the shortstop in the 3rd. Both of those were hard-hit balls that just didn't fall. But in the first, he had a double. That was to the right center field gap as he skies one in the air towards foul territory. Mason Grotto, the third baseman, heading over. He makes the catch in foul territory, and Bobo's retired.
And so we've seen a few Oaks so far today fly out to left field and foul territory. And we've seen the Blues, while there is not a lot of foul ground out there, be able to track down that side and be able to make the catch. Just unlucky for the Oaks to not be able to get that to score it out of play.
So now we go from a lefty with pull power to a lefty with pull power. It's Brendan Durfee as he stands up to the plate with a runner on first and 1 out here in the top of the 8th inning.
A big gap in right center as well.
It's a monstrous gap. The right fielder, Trimble, he's playing a lot closer to the line as now a fake throw over to first from Kelly does not throw.
Really, both corner outfielders are shaded close to the line. So a lot of ground for Ryan Cermak to make up on either gap.
Burton, playing close to the line, has made a couple of plays in foul territory down that left field line. First pitch to Durfee, ball low and away in the dirt, picked out by Esperanza. 1-0 the count to Durfee. Durfee today has a couple of RBIs. He had a sac fly in the first, then an RBI single. That was in the 3rd, but his last time up, he flew out to the left fielder on a ball in foul territory. That could be why Burton's playing so close to the line. As the 1-0 to Durfee, check swing. Did he go? He did not. So they count now 2-0 to Brendan Durfee as he gets ahead. Durfee goes to Cal Lutheran, playing with the Oaks, so playing in his home ballpark when the Oaks are at home. Normally a catcher, but has had an arm injury that's kept him out of catching. He's been a DH all season with the Oaks as a ball is blown away. And the count now 3-0 to Brendan Durfee as he gets ahead.
And we've seen John Kelly struggle with command, and even last inning, he saw 2 balls in every single count that he had, and the Oaks put some balls in play in order to spare him from getting deep into counts. And here we see a walk to Grant Smith. We saw the first ball to Bobo, now 3 balls to Durfee.
Make it 4 balls as Durfee, a 4-pitch walk, advances Grant Smith to second base. And the tying run is on base for the Oaks and Brendan Durfee. And coming up to the plate is the go-ahead run in TJ Foreman.
Yeah, so right now the Oaks, they have to strike while the iron's hot, and they're going to have to deal with a new pitcher because the Blues, they just brought in a replacement for John Kelly.
Pitching meeting now, and the new pitcher is happening, so we're going to take a break and find out who that new pitcher is right after this break. The Oaks, they have 2 runners on as they trail by 2. You're listening to the Conejo Oaks live stream presented by KDTV. Now, Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you. Zach McCleve is the right-hander on the mound. He's going to be facing off against TJ Foreman, who's up to the plate with 2 runners on. Grant Smith at second, Brendan Durfee at first. Both of them have walked as the first pitch to Foreman, ground out to the first baseman Clarkson. Over to second, the play is made as Mercado was on the bag. No other play is available as Foreman's speed beats out the play. So now 2 is gone after the first pitch swinging from Foreman, runners on the corners.
And that's just about as good of a first at-bat as you can have if you're Zach McCleve.
McCleve this season, he has a 2-0 record with a 1.35 ERA in 8 appearances. In 7 of the 8 appearances, he hasn't given up a run. He only gave up 2 runs all year, and that was to Humboldt. That was on June 26th. But every other game, he's given up 0 earned runs.
Pinch hitter here for Raul Sandoval. It's going to be Reagan Burford.
Reagan Burford and now up to the plate as the first pitch to him in there for a strike. 0-1, and McCleve, he's a right-hander. He's a side armor. He's from the University of Utah, actually from Salt Lake City, Utah. So hometown kid playing for the Utes. And right now, he's in a big spot. Runners on the corners, 2 outs, 2-run game. Burford goes opposite field. That's going to be a single. Coming in to score is Grant Smith. The score is now 1-run difference as it's 5-4.
And now with TJ Foreman on second base, any ball that's put into the outfield is going to probably score that run.
So now a pinch runner heading over to first base. Hunter
Burford
Call.
just did his job.
Burford did do his job. Hunter Call now at first base, so speed on both first and second. So the tying run on second, the go-ahead run at first, that is Hunter Call. And up to the plate now is Austin Carrillo. See Call, he's a fast runner and a center fielder, so he's going to go into center field in the next inning. As the first pitch to Carrillo, he fouls it back into the screen. It's now 0-1 to Austin Carrillo. Carrillo today, he had a single. That was in the second. That was to right field. Then in the fourth, it was a line out to the right fielder. In the sixth, it was a fly out to the center fielder. So a 1-for-3 day for Carrillo as times is called. They need more balls, it looks like, at home plate. Nope. Pointed to the dugout of the Blues.
They just needed them to pick up a ball. There was a ball on the field towards their dugout.
That's all. So 0-1 the count to Carrillo. Foreman on second, Call on first. The pitch. That one runs inside. The count even 1-1 to Carrillo.
And Cody Sulak still on deck. So despite the 0-for-3 days so far with 2 strikeouts, even if we see Austin Carrillo get on with a walk or get on with a hit and just drive in a run, Cody Sulak will be the guy that is coming up to the plate next in a big spot if he does get there.
The 1-1. Pitch is outside. The count now 2-1 to Austin Carrillo.
And I would venture to say this might be one of the most important at-bats of the season for the Oaks.
It's a huge game, standings-wise. The Blues, they're in first place. The Oaks, they're in fourth place. They're a game out of second place, which is currently tied for Arroyo Seco and the Santa Barbara Foresters. The 2-1 from McCleve, fouled off by Austin Carrillo, and the count's even 2-2.
So now Carrillo has to battle. He's already seen 2 strikes once today. He ended that at bat with a long fly out to center field.
Carrillo at the plate. Big at bat right now. Tying run still in scoring position at second, and it's a fast one in TJ Foreman. The side armor, McCleve on the mound as he steps off, and then Foreman heads back to second. 2 outs, top of the 8th inning. You can feel the intensity in the building.
This is not a building.
We're in the building, in the booth. But I mean, I still feel like you can feel it in the stadium.
You saved it.
I would call the booth a building, but okay. The 2-2. Carrillo fouls it off. 6th pitch of the at-bat coming up to Carrillo. Carrillo goes to Cal Lutheran, went to Chatsworth High School, that's in the Valley. Originally from Sylmar, California, so headed down the 118 to go play his college ball. Now playing his summer ball in the same stadium that his college ball is, Sparky Anderson Field, as he's with the Conejo Oaks. The 2-2, that one's inside to Carrillo, and now a full count with 2 outs in the top of the 8th inning in a 1-run game.
You can't have a bigger spot right here if you're Austin Carrillo, and it's just executing the at-bat. If you need to pass the bat to Cody Sulak, do it. but don't swing at a pitch that's outside of the zone, but make sure you don't let a strike go by you. That's the most important thing. The Oaks, the biggest spot that they'll have all day.
Umpire calls times. Everything's squared away. Fans starting to make noise here in San Luis Obispo. The SLO Blues, they're leading 5-4. Full count, 2 outs. The pitch, low, and Carrillo walks, and the bases are loaded. And coming up to the plate, the biggest at bat of the year goes to Cody Sulak.
And so the most unlikely of potential heroes in the biggest spot for the Oaks, Cody Sulak has the least at bat of any Oak of the season that has been here since day one. And now Sulak, he is trying to do a job right here that is going to be a very difficult one and going to be a big-time spot for him.
The first pitch to Sulak, swing and a miss, 0-1. Sulak today, he's 0 for 3. A fly out to right, a strikeout looking in the 4th, and a strikeout swinging in the 7th. Biggest at bat right now. The pitch. Sulak goes opposite field. It's going to drop. It's going to get down. Coming around to score is Foreman. Now coming around third is Call, and the Oaks, they take the lead. Now heading in is Carrillo. He gets in safely. A bases clearing RBI double for Cody Sulak, and the Oaks, they lead. It's 7-5.
And that's a way to earn yourself some more playing time. The biggest at bat of the season for the Oaks, Cody Sulak. He was able to drive one the opposite way, and he was able to get it down. It had been a poor day for him thus far. It's not a poor day anymore. Cody Sulak coming big in the biggest spot for the Oaks the entire season, and he finds himself on second base.
So a 4-run inning for the Oaks here in the top of the 7th. Cody Sulak, a bases clearing double, and the Oaks, they're leading again up by 2. And up to the plate now, Robert Capozzi. First pitch to him, inside. It's 1-0.
And so the Oaks, they needed this inning to be big for them, and it absolutely was. They have the top of the order in a big spot, in a big game in CCL standings for the Oaks, as well as they had dropped a few games recently. So they needed this game, they needed this inning, and right now they got a big spot and a big hit from Cody Sulak to add some insurance.
Swing and a miss from Capozzi, the count even 1-1. McCleve on the mound, Sulak on second. Capozzi now steps off the mound. Man, what a hit by Cody Sulak. Opposite field, a bases clearing double. As now Capozzi hits one to the right side. Fielding it is Clarkson, flips it over to McCleve, and the inning is over. So the Oaks, they score 4 runs in the inning on 3 hits. No errors and 1 runner left on. That is Cody Sulak, who had the bases clearing double. And that'll do it for the top of the 8th inning. We head to the bottom of the 8th. The Oaks, they're leading now 7-5. You are listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream presented by KDTV. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you here in San Luis Obispo. The Oaks, they just took the lead 7-5 after a bases clearing double by Cody Sulak in the top of the 8th inning. And now a new pitcher on the mound for the Oaks. It's Tobias Plotkin. He's set to face off against Ruben Mercado, Ryan Cermak, and AJ Esperanza. The first pitch to Mercado is a fastball in there for a strike, 0-1. And Brent Jocks, he had a great game for him. His last 2 innings had faced 4 batters, got 3 of outs in each of those innings, of course. 3 strikeouts in the last inning. As the second pitch to Mercado is in there for a strike, 0-2 to Ruben Mercado.
And let's remember that the reason the Oaks have the opportunity to be in this big spot is because of Brent Jocks. He pitched 3 innings of fantastic baseball, allowed just 1 hit, 1 walk, and 3 total base runners, as well as 5 strikeouts through those 3 innings. So a fantastic job in relief from Brent Jocks.
Plotkin going to step off the mound, and now back on the mound. Mercado an 0-2 count today. He walked in the 3rd, reached on a fielder's choice in the 4th, and flew out in the 5th. Up for the 4th time, a ball in the dirt at the plate, and it's now 1-2 to Ruben Mercado. And Plotkin, he's on the mound here in San Luis Obispo 1 week after giving up a 2-run home run to AJ Esperanza, who's in the hole right now. Esperanza hit that 2-run home run. It gave the Blues the lead, 5-4. They held on and won it by that score. But Plotkin on with nobody out and a 2-run lead as Mercado grounds one softly in the infield. Coming over Suji, he throws over to first. The play is made, and Mercado's retired.
And there was a lot happening on that play. Essentially a swinging bunt. Both Plotkin and Suji converged on it at the same time. Suji called off Plotkin, and then Suji was able to throw on to first. And the stretch by Capozzi, we've seen a few big stretches. That was the first one that was successful by him on the day. A lot of confusion on the play, but the Oaks, the communication, were able to handle it and get the first out of the inning, and that is a big out in the inning.
So now 1 is gone. Ryan Cermak, the leadoff man for the Blues, he's up at the plate. He's facing off against Tobias Plotkin as the first pitch to him is fouled away by Cermak, 0-1. Cermak today, he had a hot bat early on. A double to start the game, a single in the 3rd, another single in the 4th, but a fly out in his last at bat on the first pitch he saw. That was in the 6th. Standing in for the 4th time today in a big spot with his team trailing by 2. The 0-1. In there for a strike. Now 0-2. Lefty on righty matchup with Plotkin, the southpaw, going up against Cermak, the right-handed hitter.
And there's a lot of defensive realignment. Hunter Call is now in center field.
As a swing and a miss from Cermak, they got him to swing. Throw over to first from Suji in time. So the first strikeout of the day for Tobias Plotkin, a 3-pitch strikeout to Ryan Cermak. And now 2 are gone in the 8th.
And actually, Hunter Call in center is the only defensive substitution because pinch hit for Raul Sandoval was Reagan Burford, and then Hunter Call pinch ran for him. So that's the only defensive substitution.
So now the outfield, Carrillo, Call, and Foreman. And up to the plate, this is the lefty-on-lefty matchup that AJ Esperanza won last week on Friday. He sent a ball over the right field wall. Tobias Plotkin lost that battle. His team was up by 1. Esperanza had a man on first. That ended up being the go-ahead home run and winning run. And now, Suji, he's going to go talk things over to Plotkin. Definitely in the back of Plotkin's mind right now is that home run.
And despite the fact that Esperanza got the better of Plotkin the last time they faced off, Esperanza is the probably easiest batter to get out of the next 3. Mason Grotto is the best hitter, and he's on deck. He's the best hitter in the entire CCL South. And then Vince Martinez, he is one of the better hitters as of late for the Blues.
First pitch to Esperanza in there for a strike, 0-1. And right now, Esperanza, he comes in, reached on an error in his last time up. That was an error by Cody Sulak. Sulak made up for it big with that bases clearing double. The 0-1 to Esperanza. misses away. It's now even 1-1. Prior to that, he had a double to the right center field gap. That was in the 3rd inning, but flew out in his other 2 appearances. 1 to center field in the 1st and 1 to the 3rd baseman in the 4th. The 1-1 is fouled off at the plate. Count now 1-2 to Plotkin. And Plotkin a strikeout or strike away for a strikeout and getting revenge to Esperanza.
Yeah, and right here, he is up 1-2, but he cannot let him off the hook. Esperanza got the better of him last time, so it's definitely not a surefire.
The windup, the pitch. This one's grounded to the right side. Sulak, the second baseman, comes in. He throws over to first, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Tobias Plotkin. And we head to the top of the 9th inning. The Oaks, they're leading 7-5. You're listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream presented by KDTV. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you, top of the 9th inning. The Oaks, they're leading 7-5 after a bases clearing double by Cody Sulak last inning. First pitch to Caden Suji is fouled off. 0-1 to Suji. Caden Suji, Grant Smith, and Brendan Bobo, they're due for the Oaks as looks like here in San Luis Obispo, they're creating a beer cup snake.
Yeah, they're creating a beer snake.
The 0-1 slider in there. It's now 0-2 to Caden Suji. And, you know, the beer cup snake, it's been taken off of recently. I know Cubs games, they've been doing it a lot down there. The 0-2 to Suji, that one's fouled off. 4th pitch of the at-bat coming up to Caden Suji.
So here's a quick view of the beer snake.
There it is. Looks pretty cool.
It is very cool.
Back to the action. The 0-2. That one misses outside. Now 1-2 the count to Caden Suji. Suji today, he had a single in the 3rd, but then a strikeout in the 4th and a ground out in the 7th.
How much coordination does it take to create a beer snake?
The 1-2, Suji skies this one in the air, left center field. Coming in is Cermak. He comes in, makes the play, and Suji's retired. I think it's a lot of coordination. I think you just need about 4 to 5 drunk guys, and you think you can get it.
Well, the thing is, you have to have a lot of cups. And how do you start a beer snake without having a lot of cups? I mean, you have to at least make it known to everyone that you're going to start a beer snake.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is you just need 5 or 6 drunk guys to get.
Why do they have to be drunk?
Because they're the ones with the cups.
Oh, so you're saying that all the cups are from them?
No, I'm saying that you have to have 5 to 6 drunk guys to have that many cups to get it started.
Okay.
The pitch misses low, 1-0. So yeah, so like.
But if you think about it,
If you get.
that's only about. I mean, if, by the most liberal of estimates, 15 cups. I don't think anyone's going over 3 beers.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're getting drunk on 3 beers. 2-0. I'm saying.
I mean, not at a ballpark. You're not taking You're not buying 3 beers at a ballpark.
I don't know how much a beer costs in San Luis Obispo. Maybe it's cheaper.
The sandwich cost $12.
That's true. Sandwich did cost $12. It was a tri-tip sandwich. Wish it was $6. The 2-0 that was inside.
If Jordan Brenner is watching, tri-tip sandwich, mid.
It was mid.
It was mid.
I heard great things from Jordan Brenner. Jordan Brenner was the voice of the Conejo Oaks for the last 2 summers.
He talked it up too much.
He talked it up so much. He was like, you have to go and get the tri-tip sandwich. The pitch runs inside to Smith and a walk now here in the 9th. I was disappointed. I really was expecting the best tri-tip sandwich of my life. In reality, my dad's tri-tip at home, he makes it way better than this place.
Yeah, I mean, that might be a little biased. A family tri-tip is a little biased, but it's certainly not the best.
I'm not biased. You can talk to anybody.
I haven't had that tri-tip. But
you're going to have my dad's tri-tip someday.
I'm saying that from an unbiased source where their family hasn't made the tri-tip, it's not the best tri-tip I've ever had. It was a 7 out of 10, maybe 6 out of 10.
Maybe 6 out of 10, yeah. All right, enough about sandwiches. First pitch to Brendan Bobo. That one misses outside, or actually caught the zone, actually. 0-1 to Brendan Bobo. So Grant Smith, he's on first, 1 out, 0-1. The count is the throwback from McCleve to first, and there safely is Smith.
Mariah Aguirre has a interesting insight in addition to the beer snake conversation. She says, maybe there are some water cups in there as well. So it might not all be from the beer. It could also be water cups.
I mean, if you're factoring all the cups. Pitch to Bobo is in there for a strike. It was a check swing. They said he did go. 0-2 now to Bobo. I mean, yeah, if you factor in if some of those are water cups and for some reason they have the beer cups also used for the water cups, then yeah, I could see a snake that big.
Well, now we see transport. We see some people running over with a plethora of cups. This guy over here, he has about 5 or 6 cups that he's about to go run over. There's a girl who just ran over about 2 more cups over there. So now they're getting the whole stadium to relay them cups into the beer snake. And now it's just going to keep on growing and growing and growing. Once you get it rolling, the beer snake can't stop.
Exactly. 1-2 the count to Bobo after the 0-2 missed outside. The pitch to Bobo, this one's fouled off the other way. Not fouled in fair territory. Throw from Grotto across the diamond. Retires Bobo as a ball that looked like it was curving foul. Stayed in play right down the line. Grotto made the play. And over to second now is Smith, but 2 are gone.
Yeah, a lot of spin, but not a lot of action on the ball. So stayed in play, and Mason Grotto was able to throw over to first. And now another pinch hitter for the Oaks here.
So now pinch hitting for Brendan Durfee. It's going to be Scott Radinsky Jr.
And this is an interesting spot to bring in Radinsky, as Coach Solis is now going to talk to the home plate umpire.
Solis talking with the umpire. Grant Smith, he's on second. 2 outs. The Oaks are looking to expand their lead, just like these drunk fans are looking to expand their beer snake.
Another look in here at the beer snake. It's growing in size.
Oh, look at this.
Look at this. Look at this. The champion bringing, that's about a quarter of the snake he's adding.
That's a big time addition.
So if you see here, it starts all the way down at the guy in the blue shirt in the second row, and it goes all the way up to the last row. We just saw the guy in the Ken Griffey jersey. He brought some more over. Now Reverse Fanny Pack brings some more over. So we're just continue to see the fans here at San Luis Obispo grow and grow the beer snake. And now we're about to see some children run by. I think that they might have an addition to the beer snake. Hopefully they're not drinking any beer. Those are definitely not of age.
So we're still waiting.
I think they're just checking out the beer snake. So they just have a Coke can. They do not have any additions to the beer snake, but it's such a spectacle that they have to go and see the beer snake themselves. They're amazed, they're wowed, and they got their fill. Now they're heading back.
Wow. You know, the CCL can have beer snakes too. It's not just an MLB thing. Only in San Luis Obispo. So
For the Oaks fans that are watching, how about we start a beer snake at Calou?
do we even serve beer at Calou?
No.
There you go.
It's a BYO beer snake.
First pitch to Scott Radinsky. Misses. It's 1-0. So Grant Smith on second base. 2 outs in the inning. The Oaks, they're leading 7-5. The action now on the field and not on the beer snake as the pitch from Radinsky's outside. It's 2-0 to Scott Radinsky Jr. And Radinsky, he's going to be a freshman in the fall at Santa Barbara City College. Today, entering the game, he's 0-0-0-0. So the
Batting 000.
The 000. There you go, Ryan. You like it? You going to roll with it?
I think you should trademark it.
There you go. He's batting the 000. Pitch is in there for a strike. 2-1 to Scott Radinsky.
And this is a really interesting spot to bring in Radinsky. A big game. It's still only a 2-run lead. There's a runner in scoring position. I know you want to get him at bats, but he, like we mentioned, he's batting 000 on the season. And Brendan Durfee has had a great day up to this point.
The 2-1. That one check swung. He did go. So now the count even 2-2. Fans starting to make noise. You can hear the cowbells here in San Luis Obispo, bringing me back nostalgia from the cowbells of going to Bakersfield Condors hockey games back in the day for me.
I think of Mississippi State when I think of cowbell.
Radinsky lines 1-2 Mercado. It's going to get into the center field, heading around third, and now coming in to score is Grant Smith. Radinsky, he's headed for second, head first slide. He's out, but not in time before Grant Smith comes in and scores. So the Oaks add a run on a hit from Scott Radinsky with 2 outs, and they're now leading by 3. It's 8-5 as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning. You are listening here on the Conejo Oaks live stream presented by KDTV.